What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching the most fraudulent scenes online right now. You're now tuned into our late night show. Let's just get straight down to business. If you are new to the stream, much love to your mothers for joining us or rejoining us. We will be doing the phone lines. We will be doing the internet, hopefully working this time. I'm paying through the fucking nose and you wouldn't believe. Sky TV, you got blood on your hands. I will be in contact. Make sure that you entertain other service providers if you can, because you won't be going through fraudulent moments like that. Anyway, if you are returning, we are going to get back into the football pronto. I'm going to switch back over here and into the Discord. So if you do want to join us on this, the most fraudulent of internet late night phone-ins, we're here to talk football, we're here to talk life, we're here to talk Jose Mourinho losing second game in a row. Chelsea lost 2 on the bounce. Big game for them against West Ham. We're here to talk Manchester United's thrilling 6-2 victory against Bielsa's Leeds United and much, much more. We've had our Chelsea fan on already tonight. If you've missed that, it is in the previous video, which is already up because YouTube just randomly stopped the stream. But yes, if you could come outside, Sky, we just want to have a little chat. Just a little chat. Chinwag. Absolute frauds. Much love, though, to everyone who is back in the stream. I'm going to follow a couple of frauds who've retweeted the tweet. You know how we do. This is how we do. We make a move and follow a few frauds in the crew. 4 Heady 1. I like that. Heady 4. Yes, indeed. It's a sticky one still. Mustafa, not Mustafi. I nearly didn't follow you because I thought your name was Mustafi. Mustafa says, kill the Glazers. Incredible. It's an emotional game, football. Wise Owl, thanks for following, mates. All your support is massively appreciated. You're all massive legends and helping to make this channel what it is. Listen, we had a target in the last video. It was, I think, 3,000 likes. There's no way I'm expecting you to exercise those freeloading fraudulent thumbs that much this time around. However, if we can get to 2,000, we'll do a full couple of hours, okay? I do want to get down to the nitty-gritty and see exactly what you have to say about your club and their fortunes right now. I'm bang on the espressos, so we're up all night. I've actually got a free house. Incredible. It is an incredible feeling. I used to sleep on the floor. Oh, wow. Incredible. Yes, indeed. Christmas time. Make sure you're looking after each other as well, lads. We're going to get straight into the phone lines. I'm going to switch over to Discord because we have got a lengthy queue, which is headed up by none other than Artful Fella. Artful Fella, you are live and exclusive on the internet's favourite football phone-in show, Late Night Fraudulence. Love to your mother. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Big man. I'm Alfie. I come from West Brom.
You come from West Brom?
Yeah, I come from West Bromwich.
Unbelievable scenes of glorious emotion. We've got a West Brom fan in the building.
We're rivals now, mate. Gotta get used to it.
Whoa, whoa! We were just getting accustomed to each other there, and you've gone for throwing me under the bus already. No, listen, mate, you're relegation fodder. Never mind, right? Fodder. No, talk to me. Was it a red card today? A little bit harsh or red?
With Grealish, I don't really know, to be honest. But everything's a bit of that. But I think it is a red. But the way it is these days. But I don't know. It's the red for me. But the way we were playing today was just god awful. With one shot. Total.
I've seen some post-match statistics which show that you managed genuinely one shot and none of them, no shots on targets.
Yeah. It was a cross, so it wasn't even a shot. It was just a failed cross.
And I mean, this is what you've got to be expecting, though, isn't it? From Big Sam.
But we've done this before. Like our owners, like we're trying to sell. But what we've done before, like when we were in the Championship with Darren Moore. We had a 1-1 draw with Ipswich. We were like third, and then they sacked him. And then it was just.
So, do you think it was the wrong decision to get rid of Slaven so early?
It's just the timing of it. We had a great bloody point at Man City, where we always get battered by at least 4 goals. We had a 1-1 draw, And I could understand after like a battering or something had happened, but just the timing felt really off to me.
Okay, well, I'm going to break it down for you how I've seen it. I've seen the challenge. It looks like a red. It looks like it should be a red.
Yeah.
And admittedly, you're not in the game, but statistics-wise, you shouldn't be expecting much more from Big Sam. But he does have a fantastic track record of fighting off relegation. Are you confident he can do that much?
I trust him. It's just it's what we're sacrificing at the end of the day. West Brom, unfortunately, have had your Tony Pulises and all those kind of characters. And I think, well, this is just for me personally. I'm sick of playing football like that. I want to play football, and even if it means we get relegated, I want to play fun, exciting football. I see Aston Villa playing amazing football. I see Wolves playing amazing football. I see Leicester, every other Midlands club apart from Birmingham, but they don't count, are playing great football apart from us.
I mean, is that likely to change without one investment, which I'm sure he's likely to get a little bit of? January window just coming up. You're bound to get a couple of defenders. Tompkins, I think, has been linked.
Oh, bloody.
Does that fill you with excitement?
Not really. I just, I don't know, to be honest. Like the way like the owners are going, they're saying they might sell, and I think this is why they've hired Big Sam, so he just keeps us in the Prem. We move along, and then they sell, and we get better owners. It's a bit.
I mean,
it's a bit like tanking in a way. Like it's just putting on a brave face, smiling, and then just pretending everything's fine when it's not fine.
I mean, look, you've got to be honest with what you can expect from the quality of players that you've got, and defensively, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't really. Wasn't. It was the same thing we did against Newcastle, where we conceded in like the first 5 minutes, as we always do. But I want to kind of slightly. I'll give you a mad stat. Arsenal have lost to every Midlands team this season, apart from West Brom.
Why have you brought that up?
Because I just wanted to pivot onto Arsenal because I want to make myself feel a little bit better. But I was.
Let me ask you something, mate. What's West Brom famous for? What is it famous for?
Famous for Cyril Regis.
Cyril Regis.
Yeah.
Was he the first black footballer in the Football League?
Yeah. It was the famous triple. They had the 3 Rockets. Were famous for not a lot, but those like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. That is historic, right? And that's an incredible thing to be associated with. But what is your area most renowned for? Just can you let the people know?
Mainly just a lot of like feeder clubs mainly like.
I'm hearing a lot of umming and ahhing, yeah?
Well,
West Brummies ringing me up, talking about Arsenal being in... Listen, mate, where I'm from, we're famous for being the capital of this country, yeah? We're famous for running this place. Economically, you're dependent on us. Yeah? We've been a shining beacon of light in terms of the football that we play, and I know for a hot minute, you've been waiting to play football like the Arsenal used to.
Yeah.
Before you ring up late night fraudulence, right? With all this mad banter, you better be prepared. West Bromwich Albion, yeah? The Midlands. What's it famous for? It's famous for pies. This is why you brought Big Sam in. Yeah? That much should be clear. Who's next? Let's go straight into the next call. I hope it's not a massive fraud. We've got Charlie Mendham. Charlie Mendham. You're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love to your mother. Where are you calling from? Pure silence from Charlie. Charlie, you're going to freeze. Are you that type of Don? There's 2 types of Dons. It's fight or flight. You look like you're pissing yourself. What are you doing? Charlie, over and out. Charlie's out. Charlie, you're massive fraud. You've had your big moment and you've missed it. Next up on the show, we've got Danny K. Is Danny K prepared? Is Danny K actually ready? Hopefully Danny is ready. I think he's a Liverpool fan. He's got to be excited about beating Crystal Palace 7-0. Danny, mate. What is? Listen, mate. If you're okay, right. Let me just step outside the matrix for a second. Right, it's quite clear that we need to have a little word. Right. If you are coming onto Late Night Fraudulence and joining the call queue, if you are not ready, all right, with your points, with your arguments, with whatever it is you've got to say, you will be turfed out and blocked from calling in again. Massive fraud. Well, not blocked from calling in again. Just be ready. Danny, you're a massive fraud. You're out of here. How did the call go? The call didn't go at all, mate. It didn't go at all. Next up, we got Dom Bastic. Dom Bastic, you're the third person with the opportunity to talk. I can see you're ready. You're a man who knows what life is about. Prepared is how you win.
What's up, Hugh?
I'm doing very well, my friend. How are you doing? What's your name? Where are you calling from, Dom?
From New York.
New York in the building. You don't sound happy with that. Is it? What's going on over there? Snowstorms?
Yeah, there was a snowstorm like at the end of this week, but like it's cool now. Like a lot of snow, white shit, like I call it in the street, but everything is good.
Okay, talk to me then. What you got in your mind tonight?
I'm a Liverpool fan, by the way. Just like
you sound down. Why do you sound down as a Liverpool fan?
Oh no, I'm actually happy with with the team. I just have a little issue with something that you said in another stream.
Okay, he's calling out the Lord. Okay, we got a big one, boys. Listen, talk to me. Tell me what's in your mind. Get straight down to business. Come on.
I heard that you said that you wouldn't be impressive if Liverpool go out and sign another player in January and we retain the league. I don't know why you want to put us to this pain of having to play like no people in the as center back. We got Rhys Williams. He came from Kidderminster, sir, from the National League. From the National League, man.
Listen. He's done well. He's done well.
Yes, don't get me wrong.
Well.
I'm happy with his performance. Like, I'm over the moon with him. But we have Fabinho. He's a center midfielder, bro. Don't be so harsh on us. We need a center back. Don't be. Give us.
What's wrong with Matip? What's wrong with Matip? Sorry, what's wrong with Matip?
He's too injury prone, bro.
Too injury prone. Okay.
Yeah.
Look.
He doesn't play 3 games on the bounce.
I mean, hold on a second. Has he not played the last 3 games?
No.
He hasn't. How many games has he played since he's been back?
I think.
No, I don't want you to think, mate. I want you to know your stuff.
Oh,
that's what I really want.
My brother. I'm not gonna keep on my mind how many games he has played in his back. I know something though, that we played Rhys Williams and Fabinho on, you could call, the most important game of Liverpool season so far against Tottenham. So you can part from that.
Okay, listen. You've done really well. I've given you credit. I've actually said it would be like an amazing achievement for Jurgen Klopp to pull this side with these injuries over the line. But you're talking about throwing money at the problem. That's not going to impress me. That's great. It may well get you what you want. Is it a problem that they're going to actually address, though? Do you think that they're going to see some hope in the fact that they've got Fabinho doing so well, Matip back, the rest of them looking like they're coming back? You got Thiago still to come back.
Yeah, but you got to remember, okay, don't laugh at me, but what about I'm about to say? We didn't buy nobody when when Lovren left. We were left with just 3 senior center back. So we need somebody with more experience, I think, on the back. Just for that, I'm not saying go out and splash the market. Just get somebody with experience there, and and that's it. Because we lost Gomez for the season, and we lost Van Dijk, and Matip is not reliable to hold in that position without getting injured often. So that's just my only input. Yeah, and that's what my issue that I had with the Lord of the Frauds.
Wow, incredible scenes being called out live and exclusive on the show. Much love for getting involved, bro. You're an absolute legend, and I appreciate the balls that it takes to run up on the biggest don on the block. That's how you get ahead. I'll see you next time on the show when Liverpool again will have smashed some other side. 7-0 and ringing up to complain. Incredible scenes of unglorious emotion. Next up on the list, we have Sai at Spurs. Is Sai actually a Tottenham fan, or is that a basketball affiliation? Sai, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love for getting involved. How you doing?
Hello, Hugh. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay, mate. Which club are you supporting, and who are you ringing up to talk about us?
That is a Spurs reference.
That is a Spurs, what, as in like Tottenham?
Yes, Tottenham.
Okay, right. Where are you calling from tonight, mate?
I'm calling from Hertfordshire. I've called before.
Wow. He's calling from... Okay, we've got an actual Tottenham fan on the phone, yeah? An actual fraud. The biggest frauds out.
Indeed.
Tottenham fan, you called up before then, and
Yeah.
what did you have to say that time?
I think it was before the North London derby. No,
Okay, right. Before then, so you haven't
Before.
spoken to me since then. That's a coincidence, isn't it?
I mean, it's because you said you'll be on and you lost and you weren't on, so it is what it is.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm on now. You've lost your last two games. Talk to me.
Well, yeah, we've lost our last two games, and honestly, it's been looking downhill for a short while. But I haven't lost hope. Listen, we lost against Liverpool, European champions, and we lost against Leicester. Two goals that we created for them, essentially. There were poor performances. I can't make excuses, but I don't think it's the end of the road, to be honest.
The end of the road? Oh, as in you think you're still in with a chance of winning the Premier League title? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think at least we're looking at least top four, if not, hopefully getting the title.
Sorry, just choking. It's interesting to see how Spurs fans have reacted. It's interesting, in fact, to see how Jose Mourinho reacted. I do actually think that Tottenham do have a top squad. They really do. However, you know your club better than anyone, mate, and you know not to expect much more than just getting close. And so far, we're seeing the evidence of that unfolding in front of our eyes a lot sooner than a lot of people had predicted. You've got a few big games coming up over the Christmas period.
Yep.
How do you see this going? Because already you're slipping down the table. Wolves are, not in the most consistent run, but they are more than capable of causing Tottenham a problem.
No, I mean they are. We've been through a patch of games where we faced all of the top six in our last 6-7 matches, and our next patch of fixtures are looking better. We're facing Fulham, Wolves, Leeds. I mean, Leeds are actually performing very well, but I feel good about the next 6-7 matches.
You feel good? Hold on a second. Let me just about the next games, because
this
is the thing, right?
About the next
I can actually remember you coming on now, and I've got to be honest. You were very confident beforehand, obviously about the Tottenham game, about the Arsenal game, and rightly so. It was a convincing victory. However, that's not really the test, is it? Arsenal on the benchmark, they're 15th and they look bang average, maybe even going to get relegated. So Crystal Palace, Liverpool and Leicester, and you've managed to get 1 point. Why are you still confident that Tottenham are actually going to go even close this season? Based on what you've seen here.
Yeah, because we have Mourinho leading us, and we have Bale yet to kick in, and I don't know if he is going to kick in, but on the hopes that he does, I honestly think that we have a shot.
Bale, it's an interesting one, isn't it? It's an expensive acquisition for what you've got so far. What's his what's the stats looking like?
He's done nothing. Like, he scored a goal for us. To be fair, that was a very incisive goal against in a match where I don't think we were looking well, but he hasn't done anything for us, and there is a romance with the club, but that only gets you so far. If you're not, and I don't think he gets into our starting 11. But that being said, I think we need to either get a right winger, or we need to get a creative fielder, to be honest, because Kane is now the majority of our creativity, and with him dropping back, the only offensive threat I think we have is Son, and he can't do everything himself.
It is interesting, but I'm convinced that you've had a couple of your bang average players exposed. And if they work well, they are top class. I think Højbjerg is a good example. When he's working well, he is absolutely phenomenal. If you put enough pressure on these Dons, though, they are liabilities in a way. And eventually, over the course of a season, they will let you down. Without Son and Kane firing on all cylinders, there is a problem with creativity. I think you're right. Especially if you're going to take Ndombele off.
Yeah, I think taking Ndombele off I was actually, my face was in my hands. I was like, I didn't know how to react. I don't know why he did that. I don't know what the rationale was. But listen, he's Mourinho. He knows more about football than me. But yeah.
It's debatable. Is he finished? Is he done? Is Jose Mourinho actually frauding his way into obscurity? Tottenham are in desperate need of a trophy, and they're willing to cling on and hope to anything. I guess.
I think we'll get a trophy this season. We have Stoke.
The League Cup is probably looking like your best bet, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But I'll take any trophy, honestly, at this point.
I hear you. League Cups and that. Incredible. Much love for getting involved, Si. You're an absolute legend. Give us a call after the next game and let us know if you've changed your mind. Si, the Spurs fan. Next up on the list, we've got the ill mind of Callum, who I believe is an Arsenal fan. Callum, how you doing? Much love for getting involved, my son.
How you doing, my guy? What you said, we meet again, we talk again. How you doing?
No. Hold on a second. You sounded a bit happy, mate. You're an Arsenal fan. Get back in your box. What's going on?
Do you know what? The only reason it's making me happy right now is your content, Hugh, and the picture of Mourinho looking furious.
That is very, very kind. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to change that picture pronto to one of Mikel Arteta. So let's get...
let's get angry now.
Well, I mean... You sound like you're in a good mood.
Do you know, I think I've hit that point where every Arsenal fan hits this point this season where if you don't laugh, you'll cry. I think the only thing that can drag us through is some positivity. And what I'm positive about is how much we're going to fuck up the January window. First of all, shout out to everybody in the chat. I can't wait to see chat flowing with bagpipe blowing, Iron Brew drinking, kilt wearing fraud. Also, I need everybody to smash the like because my man Hugh's come back on after the internet fraudulence and we've got less than 1,000 likes on the video, so smash the likes.
Can you believe it? Incredible.
Freeloading thumbs. Who are these freeloading thumbs typing up documents on the Arsenal Twitter page and the Arsenal fucking website? What's these statements I'm seeing saying we're going to get backed in January and I'm only hearing about one loan signing? What is going on at this club?
Arsenal Football Club have been linked in the last few hours with Isco, the former Malaga Real Madrid man, who is certainly a true baller in his day. Is he past it now? He's a loan signing apparently available for Arteta to add some creativity. Are you unhappy at the quality of the player, the name that's being linked, or the fact that it's a loan signing?
All of the above. Same old Arsenal. How many times have we sat here and spoke about January transfer windows, summer transfer windows, right? We're finally going to get an opportunity to get this right. And they fuck it up. Isco on his day, as you say, True Baller FC, happily admit that. Top-notch player. How many games has he played for Real Madrid this season? I don't follow La Liga that much, but I know him and Zidane don't get on very well. I don't think he's looked too sharp the last couple of years. Where's all the chatter of we're going to go back in for Awar, who I don't think, by the way, I think some fraudulence needs to be exposed. Decent player, but if you check the man's stats the last couple of seasons, he's not really going to come in and be that Mesut Ozil in his pomp. He's not going to come in and have the impact of a Zlatan at United. I just think we're in...
Do you get the feeling then that this potential Isco move is being slightly overrated, or you're not?
It's very similar to James, isn't it? Similar position, similar player.
Well, James has made an amazing impact in the Prem, though.
He has, but I think if you look at their play, James is built for the Premier League. He's kind of stocky. He's got that build. He's got a bit of strength about him. Isco reminds me very much of Santi Cazorla without the flair. who, it's a very nice comparison. A David Silva without the flair. I like the thought of an Isco. To be honest, no matter who we bring in, we could bring in a player that's got one leg and he'd be better than half a lot of the people that are starting.
Okay, so talk to me then about this then, right? You don't think that loan signings are enough? People are saying it's Ceballos 2.0. Maybe the quality of the player is questionable. I don't know. To me, he's a top player. He's only 28. He's got years left in him. He may well not be as elite as he once was, but he is certainly the best, or he would be certainly the best that Arsenal have in terms of
absolutely
producing
players.
The fact of the matter is, though, as an Arsenal fan, you're saying that isn't enough. We're going to need more, and I question whether you can actually define a loan signing in January as backing the manager.
No, you can't.
It's playing very much into this kind of trend of signing elder statesmen, as it were, or just kind of guys who aren't wanted, like hand-me-downs.
Yeah. Doesn't it remind you a lot of who was I know there are two calibers of completely different players. Isco's a proper baller, but doesn't it remind you of the signing that Unai Emery got, the Suarez? I can't remember the kid's first name. He was that bad.
Denis Suarez.
There we go.
Isco is definitely better than Denis Suarez,
absolutely.
But that in itself is
but
saying something about the trend.
Yeah, the trend. We're getting hand-me-downs. We keep phoning up Chelsea. Hello? You got anybody else we can take? In 10 years, we're going to be phoning up and being like, you know what, Timo Werner? I heard he's only turning 35 this year.
No. 10 years, mate. They've already been on the phone to Chelsea. Please do expect someone like Jorginho at the club very soon.
Dude, I'd happily take Giroud back. I'm worried we're going to fuck this transfer window. I'm worried that the manager... But my understanding, you've been very patient with Arteta, which I respect you for, because you're always very humble in your opinion of people, and very patient is probably the best word for it. But I could see yourself starting to get very frustrated with some of the things that he's doing. And my worry...
He's not doing himself any favours.
He's making the job far harder for himself than it needs to be. And my worry is, people keep saying to me, the January transfer window is only a few days, basically, 2 weeks away. Fair enough, right? We've got two massive games between now and then. We've got Chelsea. We cannot get any points from that game, in my opinion. We're going to have Kai Havertz, the £72 million flop that's not getting enough stick because he's signed for the same amount as Pepe. I don't think he'll start. I think people have been calling for him to get dropped, but it's the kind of game that he could come in and turn the season around because you're playing Arsenal. Brighton can't even get a win against the bottom of the table of Sheffield, and they must be licking their lips knowing that Arsenal's just around the corner. And then people keep saying, January. How do Arsenal always do business, Hugh? We always sign someone on deadline day. It's always a loan. We never go out and show any intent. We never get someone in early so they can get a run in with the team. We've got West Brom on the 2nd. I cannot see us getting a draw. I think Big Sam...
Against Big Sam?
Big Sam, he's going to stack the 4-4-2. I know they played terribly today against Aston Villa, but again, it's another team who will be looking at Arsenal and they'll be thinking, here's 3 points, boys. This is our seasons.
There's no team in the league that isn't thinking that right now.
Exactly.
Make no mistake. Yeah,
exactly.
100%.
And then
Arsenal
you look at
playing
the
Chelsea
pictures.
next Boxing Day.
We've got Southampton again in January. We've got Newcastle twice, once in the Cup, once in the league. We've got Crystal Palace. We've got United.
No. You're just listing fixtures. Listen. Any of the 19 teams in the league are going to cause Arsenal an issue right now.
Yeah.
Chelsea being next and with a point to prove after losing 2 on the bounce it's like a cup final. And I've said that this is like my kind of be all or end all. I can buy in and I can be patient and I can have hope and all this prayers and all that. But ultimately, we'll look at some of the stuff that I've been sent recently. Like the patterns of play are pretty poor. It's very basic stuff.
Everything's down the left.
It is still the wok style of football that we're trying to do. And ultimately, there's nothing going through the middle at all. You've got to be worried about a Chelsea game against a side who are creating a hell of a lot and can score goals from various different ways.
See the signing of Isco. All right, so say we bring in Isco, which I say I'm a big fan of Isco. I think in recent years he's maybe not shown as much as he has in the past. I think he had his best years at I think it was Sociedad before Madrid. But say we bring in an Isco or God forbid a fucking Christian Eriksen or Szoboszlai. I know he's away to Leipzig. Any creative attacking midfielder. Where's he playing? Because right now I can't see him coming into the team and us doing well. We're either playing this weird mix of 4-2-3-1, 3-4-3, 5-2-2-1. I don't even know what formation we play anytime the lineup's announced. I'm looking at lineups getting announced and I'm thinking, oh, he's going 4-4-2. He's going a bit more pragmatic. And then we show up in this 3-4-3 with Kieran Tierney out of position and all sorts. If he sticks with his 3-4-3, which he's been pretty adamant to do if Thomas Partey's not fit, because we can't handle a back four being under pressure without a proper DM, there's no room for a number 10 because your two centre mids have to be box to box. They have to be that pace of El Neni and the defensive side of his game with the kind of spin merchant pace, if you even want to call it pace, of Ceballos. And then you need those wingers. I don't know.
The hope is that he's able to change his formation with those players at his disposal, because obviously
I don't see it, man. I don't see an Isco coming into the team and then being able to go 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3. Because who's going to play behind him?
Look, talk to me about the lineup that you saw last time against Everton. Nketiah up top, Willian on the left, Pepe on the right, El Neni, Ceballos in the middle. I mean, did you actually go into that game thinking Arsenal were going to win?
I, for the first time in many, many years...
You actually did, didn't you? Wow. Cool.
No. No, relax, right? I'm a realist here. You're getting gassed, right? I know I come on positive, but whoa. For the first time in years, I barely looked at any team news. I think I turned the game on 10 minutes in because I was just so deflated. It's the first time that my football club that I've loved from a distance, from a young age, I've just pretty much given up on. They're showing no ambition. Do you know, I read a quote earlier on and I just wanted to quickly read it to you. And it was again regarding some nonsense that Arteta was talking. I'll paraphrase, but basically says that all the teams that were playing were coming out either the better side or the better teams not winning the game. I'm not seeing any of what he's seeing. He must take his blinders off. He must have contact lenses that are complete blackouts, and these things that are in his eyes are glass. The lineup against Everton, I'm looking at it right now. Willian on a left wing, Pepe on the right, and Nketiah through the middle. Saka and Maitland-Niles. I thought Maitland-Niles had probably one of his best performances in an Arsenal shirt. We got battered 2-1. Just sums us up. The fact that Rob Holding's wearing the armband when, 3 months ago he was meant to be on loan to Liverpool? Liverpool, fuck me,
Newcastle,
Liverpool.
Yeah.
Jeez, relax. Newcastle. Do you know, that sums Arsenal up. Do you remember how much stick Unai Emery got when there was this 5 captain situation? And now Arteta's come in and he's been very adamant that Aubameyang's captain. I don't know who our vice captain is. We've seen Mustafi, we've seen El Neni, we've seen Xhaka, we've seen Rob Holding. Where's the same stick that he's not getting? You know, how many captains does this club have? We have none. We have maybe a future captain in Kieran Tierney, but we have no captain. Again, I just look at that lineup against Everton and I thought we were going to get hammered. And after 10 minutes of watching the game, we showed little to nothing. The defending was shocking. Whoever's in charge of... Isn't Per Mertesacker involved with the under-23s? And isn't he got some kind of role to play in the defensive situation at the club? He was...
What are you saying, blame Per?
Well, he was... Since... Well, if we look at, pre-Invincibles, you'd probably say that Per Mertesacker and Lauren Koscielny are the 2 best centre-halves we've had at the club. On their day, each had their moment of madness, but pretty solid.
I mean, I don't know about that, if I'm honest. I think the fact that we're so bad now is kind of tainting people's memories slightly. Per Mertesacker did have one incredible game for Arsenal. I guess it was a cup final that time.
The man of the match cup final moment, yeah.
I mean, barring that, he really was a little bit of a liability
himself, yeah. I just don't understand what's happening with the coaching, what's happening with the marking. Graham Souness brought it up perfectly on Sky Sports when El Neni choke-slammed fucking Tarkowski in the box when the ball hadn't even been played in yet. And he's like, what are you doing? Man, Mark. You taught this as a kid. You're just running around like headless chickens. I've seen Pepe, who is fairly tall, but to be honest, I don't know how tall he is, marking 7'9" Yerry Mina, and who's able to then just run literally from the D to the near post and a free header. It's an easy goal. There's so many problems right now, dude. Whenever I look at the team, this is why I've sort of pretty much come on trying to be a bit more positive, and I've ended up pissed off as always when we talk about Arsenal.
Absolute reality. I need to ask you this though, mate. Arteta, where are you? Are you at the point of no return?
Oh, man. Do you know, I hope he proves me wrong, because it's clear that the board are completely incompetent. They will not sack him. I really feel like the reason that he was appointed goes back to the fact that Unai Emery was sacked. I think that they couldn't afford a top manager like Ancelotti or Mourinho because they had to pay off Unai Emery's wages and then afford a new guy. And it says that, the fact that he's on 6 million and Ancelotti's on 14. He was done for me in the Wolves game. And he's still done for me. I don't know why on earth we've not sacked him. I would have happily brought a club legend, someone in. I think the perfect replacement for the moment in time is Rafa Benitez. I don't think the fans would give him the respect he deserves. He's the perfect replacement, in my opinion. Steady the ship. People say, I don't know if Rafa's style would be right for Arsenal. Well, we're playing fucking dreadful right now. So anything's a bonus.
That's a big call. I appreciate the call, mate. You're an absolute legend, as per usual, for joining us.
Catch you in a bit.
Callum, I have to say, slightly pessimistic these days. Arsenal fan, much love for getting involved, mate. Absolute legend. Ill mind of Callum. Arsenal fans really are going through the mud. You know, it's a very, very sad situation. You hate to see it. Next up, we've got Ginoli. Ginoli, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Reading, mate. I'm here
from Reading.
Who loves you as well, by the way.
Much love to you, your mother, your girlfriend, all the frauds involved. Which club do you support? What have you called up to talk about tonight, mate?
I'm fortunate enough to be a Liverpool fan.
Oh wow, loving life.
After lots of hurt, but talk about that as well. But one thing I want to talk about is it annoys me perpetually, the state of punditry on TV and the general shite analysis, which I think is great for you because it means your channel just grows and grows and grows. But the shit that we hear on TV and from some people that call into the show, by the way, I think it's just horrendous.
Well, you're here to put them straight, mate. You're the voice of the fans right now, so let us know exactly what it is that they've said that you're not happy with.
Oh, there's a list. It's 100 long, but let's take 2 examples. Number one, when Thomas Partey, for example, signed for Arsenal, there was the Twitter and everything was full of people saying, "Oh, this guy is going to be the man who fixes our defense," and it encapsulates everything wrong with a football fan, because if you watch him play just once, just one time, you will see that his greatest strength is carrying the ball and passing between the lines. You'll have these people seeing him on FIFA, seeing him with a CDM from Ghana, but he's like Essien, he's going to fix our problems. I think if people want to have these opinions, they should just watch him play. And like in the last show, there was someone from a Man City who said, "Oh, we've got no pace in the side." Valid point. Solution to that was to sell Sterling, idiotic, even though I'm not his biggest fan, and buy Jadon Sancho. Now, I'll tell you what, Jadon Sancho, if you watch him play just one time, he is not fast. He's fast in 5 yards, much like Coutinho is, for example, but he's not a quick player. And these opinions, I just don't get how they come up people's asses, and it just triggers me, and I don't know what the solution is. I think maybe
the solution is to set the record straight, and with that new information, hopefully these frauds can learn a thing or two about the beautiful game. Listen, are you a Liverpool fan?
I am a Liverpool fan, yes, I am, yeah.
You're a Liverpool fan. Okay, talk to me about Liverpool. Do they actually need a signing during the January window? I've had another caller on saying that defensively you require another man.
We've got a short-term problem. Van Dijk is injured, but you'll have seen that Fabinho has been really, really good as centre-back. And the issue with playing Fabinho there was not that he plays centre-back, because he can, but because he wasn't playing CDM. But we've had Henderson come on and play so well in midfield. And I think that means that there's no point buying someone, because it's a short-term problem. And I think the teams around us are so weak as well that we should be able to get away with it. But another thing that I've seen quite a lot is people, I think, are heavily misplacing their thoughts on our rivals, because it's not Spurs, it's not Man United, like as I've seen some people say. It's definitely Manchester City, without any shadow of a doubt. And I'm surprised that they're overlooked so much, to be quite honest.
Right. Okay. So Man City, though, can you trust that they're going to score as many goals as they need to make up the ground and keep that going without Aguero being fit all the time like he is usually out?
I mean, I think yes. I think so. I think people look at the scoreline and it goes back to the point of sort of surface level analysis. I think if you look at their game against West, for example, you see they didn't win, and you're like, okay, they're not as good as they used to be. If you watch that game, they peppered West Brom, and if you're trying to like predict future results, that luck balances out over the course of the season. They win their few games in hand, and they're very, very close to us. And I would actually put it as a 50-50 shot between Liverpool and Man City. I can tell you for sure, clip it up, whatever you want to do, that Man United, Chelsea, Spurs, they do not come close. And let's say close equals 10, 15 points of Liverpool in this year. But Man City...
Jesus. The big bars tonight. The biggest bars we've had on tonight. What's your name again, mate?
Oh, my name's Ginoli, Miss Ginoli.
Ginoli. Okay, Ginoli coming in with those hard-hitting home truths for all those Manchester United fans who've got themselves a bit gassed tonight after a 6-2 win against a side who conceded more goals than any other in the league. Sort yourselves out. It's Liverpool or Manchester City, according to Ginoli. I'm going to get you back on after the next Liverpool game, or at least somewhere through the season. You sound like you know your stuff. Much love for getting involved. Ginoli, absolute hero. Calling up to put the fraud gang straight. Plenty of frauds calling up and exposing themselves on a daily basis. Next up, we've got Carl Plays. Carl, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Where are you calling from?
I'm calling from County Durham, but I'm a Middlesbrough fan, so a Northerner, as you could say.
Oh, mate, Middlesbrough fan. Incredible scenes of glorious emotion.
Absolutely.
Let me cast you. How old are you, son? How old are you?
I'm 22.
22.
So I've seen a European final, a Carling Cup win.
Okay. You've been around the block a little bit then.
I've had the ups and the downs, mate. I've had
okay.
both.
There was a time when Middlesbrough were looking a little bit like the Man City of the league, bringing in
Janino and
all kinds of names
all
like
dons.
Ravanelli and the top dons.
Yeah.
And
now
what's
we
been
have to
going
kick
on
about
recently, mate?
with British Sombalonga, but no. We've had a few years of trying to steady the ship. You know, Pulis came in, did a great job. We originally gave Gary Monk 50 million to splash on a load of players in the Championship, which was a bit mental. But Pulis steadied the ship, gave Johnny Woodgate a job, which I don't think he was really ready for. You know, we gave him the job with no coaching badges. Done a bit of work with the under-23s, but now Warnock's in, and it's the happiest I've been since Warnock's been since Karanka's been around. Sorry, Karanka was like my real high years, the most enjoyable times I've had as a Borough fan, and Warnock. I just wish fans were able to be back up north, because I think a lot of Borough fans would want to give him a big hug really, because I think he's only got a couple more years in him before he ends up retiring. I think he's 78 or 79 now, which is a bit mental how he's still in football. But yeah,
he's 72. He is a legend of the game and one of the last real personalities or characters of that kind of ilk in my eyes. And I'm seeing the league table. He's got you in 6th in the league.
Our squad's mental. Like yesterday, we had 2 young ones on the bench and 2 goalkeepers. So I mean, it just goes to show that the type of job that he's doing. He is rotating the squad, but he's got a main spine of about 5 to 6 players that he always starts, and he tries to keep them fit and whatnot. But I'm really happy with him. And you look at the Championship with Norwich, your Bournemouth, and your Watfords. They were the type of teams that you'd expect to dominate the league, and I think we're only 10 points off top, so it's fantastic. But my main point was I'm actually like a referee. I'm a level 4 referee, so I referee like the local Northern League around here. Just want to get like opinions on VAR really, because I'm quite a big advocate for it, to be honest.
I mean, there's pros and cons really. I think the technology is what's holding it back right now, and there have been examples like even today the goal that James Maddison has had disallowed. I don't really understand totally exactly what's gone on there, if I'm honest. And you would like to see some consistency. I can actually see it moving towards a world where referees are kind of taken off the pitch, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I can see it.
Because right now it's looking like they are almost allowing VAR to make the decision for them, or at least it appears like it's beginning to kind of take over actual, real, confident decision making. And you can understand that, I reckon. But you saying you're an advocate of it. Can you tell us why you think that?
Yeah, basically,
it's the right way to go.
I'm a big advocate for it because it gets the right decision at the end of the day. You know, whether fans like it, whether it's killing the game or not killing the game. Fans, players, managers all wanted this. They've now got it, and now suddenly they don't want it. So what I'm trying to say is, people. Well, the main talking point at the minute is trying to change the offside rule. Now, for me, offside rule is black and white. You're either on or you're off. You know, it's one that can't be really changed. So then, how would you change the offside rule in your opinion to then benefit the attacker, for example? Because obviously, I see a lot of people from the outside in saying, "Oh, change the offside rule." And if you think about it, we can't just change the offside rule for any of the top 5 leagues. It has to go all the way down the tier system, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. And yeah, I guess that is part of the problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
It may well, even going forward, it may well back the teams and put money into the clubs or whatever.
Yeah.
But as a referee, do you think that some blame needs to be put on the refs, or is it just too confusing a time to say that?
Well, I think you look at the most recent World Cup and there was no English representatives there. I think that tells a very damning story of you know the sort of state of the officiating in the Premier League now. Don't get me wrong, you know, we have Michael Oliver, who's one of the best, and in the Champions League, I think we do quite well. The English referees in the Champions League, you know, we get towards the end of the back end stages, obviously being that not many English teams reach to the back end of the stages, but we normally get some nice games in there. But I just seem to think that if a decision goes to the monitor, 9 times out of 10 it's overturned. And I think it comes down to a sort of hierarchy within the referees themselves. You know, you look at Michael Oliver, who's on field, who's been in the Premier League 10 plus years, and you get a Championship referee that's only been in the Premier League 2 years on the VAR referee telling the referee that's been in the Premier League for 10 to 15 years to change that decision. Now, like, they can all say, yeah, we're a tight-knit group, we all support each other, but realistically, do you want to be overturning the referee who's been doing it longer than you, and he's probably a better referee than you? You see what I'm trying to say? Obviously,
yeah, totally.
We need to get the right decision right, obviously, but I think it comes down to a hierarchy thing. Like, it's just.
I'm convinced as well that it is ultimately the best way forward.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I look back at history and I just think, wow, imagine how many goals have just been absolute nonsense that they've allowed.
Yeah.
Or absolute things that have just been the most like blatant stuff ever. Like Lampard's goal against Germany in the Euros just springs to mind.
That goes in, and the whole game changes. England start pushing on, and
it completely changes everything.
Mental.
And how that can be seen by the naked eye and be so obvious and all of that type of thing. And, with goal line technology, I guess they've done that already. We now have some kind of foolproof-ish method, apart from the Aston Villa Sheffield United goal, which I guess is an anomaly. But apart from that, it looks like that has helped. If we can get the same thing done with offside, or if we can change the law to make it so that there is some kind of acceptable margin or gap, then
the one thing that bugs me really is, when VAR when VAR was first introduced in the Premier League, they were going off the whole clear and obvious era. Now I've been in plenty of talks, being a referee myself, with PGML referees and those that are working on VAR on a yearly basis, say that clear and obvious doesn't really exist within VAR, and it's more of a punditry term that the pundits actually use to try and shame or dampen spirits on VAR and referees, because there's not many people that like referees. That's just a common theme that we're here to spoil the game, but that's completely not. If we can go a game without putting anything on, we'll do that 100%. But there's loads of little terms that we go off that clear and obvious wouldn't actually come into it. What actually happens is the referee will see a decision, and it'll go to VAR, and if the referee on pitch can describe exactly what's happened on the cameras that the VAR has shown, that decision can't be overturned because the referee's seen it and made that decision. Now, if the referee says something that isn't on the screen, that's when they'll go, "Oh, we'd recommend you go to the monitor," which then 9 times out of 10 gets changed because the referee has not seen it and then has seen it again on the screen and then gets overturned. That's why you don't see referees back themselves. I think a referee did it maybe last week where he backed himself in a decision when after going to the monitor. But it's so unlikely that they do get changed. Now, one thing
it is a rarity. Go on.
One thing I would love, which I think Australia do perfectly, is that let fans or let the broadcasters tap into the referee microphones when they're explaining decisions. Because I think a lot of the time now is fans don't know what's going on. And, it's frustrating for me as a referee because I can see what they're trying to say. And maybe that's that fans or pundits aren't really educated on the terms that referees are educated on. But that's a different matter. Fans shouldn't be educated on something that referees are taught because it's a very niche subject and stuff like that. But I think referees should either be able to be heard on broadcast during a game or be able to give them the chance to interview after a game like football, like players and managers do, to be able to explain their decisions.
I hear you, man. That is a fantastic call. Much appreciated for getting involved.
Appreciate you.
Carl, you're an absolute legend. I hope you call us in again. Hopefully Borough can make a push for playoffs, at least, maybe even promotion, only 5 points off second. Much love for getting involved. Carl, absolute hero in the building. I don't know who is next up. I think we're going to go for Krusty. Krusty, where are you, mate? Krusty, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love for getting involved. Where are you calling from, no?
Liverpool fans on. I'm just going to talk about how I don't think United are going to win the league.
Oh, fantastic. You get straight down to it, mate. Let us know your thoughts. Oh, this massive fraud is actually...
Hello.
Is this... look at this fraudulence. I'm going to let you get away with that. What's your name and where you calling from, my friend?
All right, Hugh. I'm Shane, and I'm from Belfast in Northern Ireland.
Hello, Shane from Belfast in Northern Ireland. Are you a Liverpool fan?
Yes. Can I also just explain why I'm a Liverpool fan as well from
You don't need to
Northern
ever...
Ireland?
Listen, mate. No, hold on a second. Let me tell you something about life. Yeah, you don't ever need to explain yourself, okay? You don't need
All
to
right,
do that.
well, just in case there's any frauds in the chats
Okay,
telling me why,
Yeah.
oh, he's not a Scouser or he's not English or whatever.
Yep.
Hello?
Yes, I'm here, mate. You just hit us with the hard-hitting home truths. You don't need to hesitate. You just go for it. Go
All right.
balls to the wall.
All right, well, I'm not going to talk about Liverpool because you've already had two Liverpool fans on. I more wanted to talk about why I don't think United are in a proper title race.
Oh, okay. Well, please do us the honour of explaining that one to us, because a lot of United fans think that they can at least challenge.
So, okay, for me to be in a proper title race, you have to be a genuine contender. Like, you can genuinely win the league. And
I mean,
while I think United...
Well, mathematically, they can, though. Let's just clarify. They can win the league.
Yeah, you can talk about, well, you can say, yeah, sure, they're only 5 points behind with a game in hand. But I'm talking about, realistically, can they actually mount a challenge? And I don't think so. For me to actually believe that, they'd have to win their next 3 games, get max points, and at least get a draw in their game with Liverpool at Anfield.
You sound worried, though. You sound a little bit... You're sweating a little bit about Manchester United.
I'll be honest with you. I'm a bit excited to be on the call with you. You absolute legend.
Oh, okay. Okay, it's not about Manchester United creeping up on you with a game in hand and only 2 points behind if they win that.
I am not worried about United. I was way more worried about Spurs than United. Before the Spurs game, I said whoever wins that game is going to be favourites to win the Premier League. If Spurs somehow beat us at Anfield, I said they're going to be the favourites because they're absolutely flying. You know, they got the best duo in the Premier League, Kane and Son. And I just thought, oh, nobody will beat them. If they can beat Liverpool at Anfield, nobody will beat them. But we did win. And then we went on to absolutely slash Crystal Palace 7-0. And I thought that was such a big win because our away form has been pretty shambolic this season. We won once at Chelsea and then obviously that infamous game against Aston Villa. and then we drew our next 4. So the away form was a real concern, but you know, I think we've proved we can win away and absolutely dominate away as well.
You've won two out of 7 away, so
I know. But there's time to improve that.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
Man United, obviously a great performance tonight. I'm not doubting that. 6-2 against Leeds at Old Trafford as well. They needed a home win.
Yes, indeed, they did. Yes.
Now, I do have a genuine hatred for United because they ruined my childhood. You know, they were genuinely.
Do you listen to any R&B by any chance? Do you like
Pardon?
Genuine? You heard of Genuine? You know the My Pony?
No, mate.
No?
Sorry.
No. You just football only. Let's just get back to football. Don't worry about that.
yeah.
Listen. Anyhow, so you just don't believe Manchester United are serious, and you're not threatened at all. Who are the title challengers then? Because you can't surely believe that it's just going to be a home and dry from here on out.
I don't think it's as good. I don't think it's going to be like last year where Liverpool just go on an unbelievable run and they absolutely dominate the league. You know, 30 points clear of everyone else. I actually think a lot of teams will still be fairly close with Liverpool, i.e. like 5 or 10 points out from them from here until the end of the season. But I just think United. I mean, at the start of the season.
Hold on a second. Let me just get this straight. You think United could finish 5 points behind Liverpool? Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, I'm not saying United specifically. I'm saying other teams along with United could, 5 or 10 points behind.
Okay. Okay.
I just think,
but just for the record, you're going for Liverpool to win the league again.
Obviously, I got to back my club, Hugh. By
10 to 15 points, maybe? What are you saying? What do you reckon?
Maybe, because I think Liverpool have been through their worst time in the season, you know, with the injury crisis. You know, there was a lot of uncertainty when Van Dijk got injured, and even more so when Gomez got injured. But Fabinho has turned out to be almost as good as a centre half as he was a DM. So really, I actually think Klopp might have a few things to think about in the defensive position going forward. Maybe he pairs Van Dijk with Fabinho for long term, and there's a bit more space in that midfield for Henderson, Thiago, and either Wijnaldum or Curtis Jones going forward, because I genuinely think Curtis Jones could be a starter for us.
He looks like he's really coming on nicely, Curtis Jones.
I'm as excited for Curtis Jones as I was for Trent as well.
Oh, wow, that's big talk,
I've got that same feeling.
Okay, well, can you just let everyone in the chat know your Twitter handle so that we can get in touch?
Oh, I'm not on Twitter. Sorry, Hugh.
Oh, he's not on Twitter? He's not on any social media? Okay, right.
No, I'm not a big social media
That's
person.
okay, don't worry yourselves. He's in the Discord. His name's Krusty in the Discord. So if you do want to get in touch if Liverpool don't end up winning the league, he's there for you. Listen, mate, all banter aside, any final words?
I'll quickly just say my piece on United. Basically, defensively, I don't think they're that good. I mean, they've got a Swedish donkey and an £80 million potato as their 2 centre halves. And unless they sign a starting centre back in January, I don't think they can sustain their bad defence. They genuinely don't have a good defensive record compared to a lot of the Premier League clubs. It's even worse than, I think, Arsenal and Burnley. I think they don't have the depth either. You know, what if Bruno or Rashford gets injured? I think their season is pretty much screwed if it's a long-term injury.
I mean, but you know, that's easy to say, isn't it? It's a bit like saying, if a Van Dijk, then your season might be screwed. It looked a little bit hairy for a minute, right?
Yeah, but who genuinely can replace Bruno? I just don't see it. And then
whoever it is, I hope he gets on the pony pretty soon. Listen, Krusty, much love for getting involved. You're a massive,
All
massive
right.
legend.
I wanted to say a bit more, but I understand
Oh.
you've got to get more people.
You hit
on,
me,
so
hit me,
thanks
hit
for...
me. You hit me. What else have you got for me? Hit me.
No. Yeah, I just don't think they can do it. I think we've seen the false dawn with Everton at the start of the season. We've seen
Yes.
Chelsea false dawn. Shout out to Rory, the massive fraud. And we've seen the Tottenham false dawn. You know, they thought they could go on and win the league, and they didn't. All it'll take is one loss and back down. You know, the out of title contention they'll be. Listen, if they win their next 3 games and get at least a draw at Liverpool, I'll come back on, tail between my legs, apologise to everyone in the chat and all the United fans and say I was wrong and say that they are in a title challenge. That's all I'm going to say, Hugh. Thanks very much for having me on, mate.
Well played. Krusty the Clown. Hopefully he doesn't look like a clown at the end of the season. Next up on that list, on Late Night Fraudulence, we've got Haji Sauce. Haji Sauce, how you doing, my fraudulent friend? Whoa.
How are you?
Let's just turn you down a little bit there. How are you doing, mates?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? Yeah, good. Brilliant.
I'm good, mate. What is your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name's Ali. I'm from Scotland, and I am a Manchester City fan.
Manchester City fan. I've got Pep's bald, fraudulent head in front of me, waiting for this call.
So
What's on your mind then?
I'm a bit worried about the Arsenal game, to be honest. There's a few things that worry me about it. I think.
Hold on a second. Wait, you're ringing up to talk about the Carabao Cup?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Right, that's what's on your mind. Let's talk it through. The Arsenal game is worrying you. You're actually worried about playing Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah,
Do you watch football?
yeah. I think the attack, seeing the attack, I think there's a lack of intensity up there. I think it's quite sluggish in the attack. I think Rodgers not been on form for a while. I think he always tries these long shots from about 40 yards out, and it really pisses me off. I've got to say, Pep gets it wrong in the lineups a lot. His substitutions are questionable. This is every game in general. He over-rotates a lot of players. I mean, Bernardo Silva and Foden, I don't know where their best position is at the moment. I mean, I thought Foden was good in the midfield. He plays him on the wing a lot. He's even played him at striker and centre forward. I mean,
with no Aguero, he's looking for that option, isn't he? That replacement for the goals. Do you not think the City are looking quite good to be, back kind of amongst the conversation if they can win that game against Newcastle?
That's what. Yeah, I see. Newcastle always cause problems, and I think
the positive things are happening. You've been keeping clean sheets in the league. The Carabao Cup against Arsenal should be a walk in the park.
Yeah, so I think Arsenal have only had about 1 clean sheet out of 11 games or something, but I just feel Arsenal's free when they play in a 3-4-3, and even Aubameyang on the left and stuff is so clinical against our City team. I don't understand how it's happening. I don't know if it's the spaces. I think in his 3-4-3 he adapts to a 5-4-1 maybe in defence, and he pushes on the 3-4-3 on attack. Not really sure what goes on there, but there's too many spaces in the attack. I don't think he'll play Gundogan. I like Gundogan a lot. I don't think Pep will play him for many reasons. I think Gundogan as a DM is a little better than Rodri. He offers that kind of I don't know how to describe it. Along with the midfielders, so like Kevin and Foden, for example, he offers the ability to defend but also to push with the attack. I feel like he's going to play Rodri like he did against West Ham, and it's going to cost us because you don't need Rodri in a game like that. I think Arsenal are arguably worse than West Brom, sorry. No offence. But
no offence, he says through the smile. Incredible. Listen here, mate, you massive fucking fraud, right? Hear me out. You're ringing me up to talk about Carabao Cup games that I don't even watch. Yeah?
You don't watch Carabao Cup?
I don't tell people I watch that. Right? Carabao Cup, bro. That is the last of your worries. Worry about fucking getting some in the Champions League. Worry about retaining a title. Worry about getting yourself a striker that can actually score goals. Massive fraud. Haji Sauce, he's out of here. Any fraudulence will be called out, exposed live on air. You're now listening to Hugh, the Fraud Lord Wizzy, live and exclusive from London. Fraudmaster HQ. If you're new to this stream, drop the video a fucking like, you bellend, yeah? I'm working hard at it and you're freeloading. All you got to do is press a button. Thank you. I appreciate it. I want to say a massive shout out to all the frauds that have got involved in the chat. I'm going to go through some of the comments right now before we move on any further. Shacktastic says nothing but pain for Arsenal fans. Aaron Boyle says, what do you think of all the Firmino hate in the past year or so? And is Salah now the best winger in Premier League history with a 0.97 goal involvement per game? Statistically, he is. Harsh Tomar, you're the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club, and you are massively appreciated. Henry says ownership is West Brom's problem. Tarush says, how do I call in? The link is in the description box below. The Discord is what you want to join. Get in the queue and you will get on. Artful Fella says, cheers mate, I was a fraud today. Rafa for the job. Let me know your thoughts. Do Arsenal perhaps need to be looking elsewhere? And who are the names that you prospectively have up as potential Arsenal managers of the future? Dhruv Patel says, I'm tired of losing, Q. Literally affects me bad. Manchester United FC says, Memphis Depay is available for £4.5 million in January. Surely he's worth the risk at that price for Arsenal. That would be quite something. £4.5 million, incredible. I wouldn't think that Arsenal is where he'd be going. He'd want Champions League football. Shane Ferris says, mods, I'm crusty in the call queue. Please let me talk. Crusty, you've had your moment and you've frauded your way out of it. Mr. McKenna Charlie, incredible scenes. Kian, mate, what an absolute legend. Much love for getting involved. You're an absolute hero and I appreciate you. He says, Hugh, will you be doing transfer talk shows during the window? Who do you think the top transfer target for each of the old guard Big Six clubs should be? Yes, indeed. We will be doing transfer talk shows where we go through all the latest rumours and the breaking news for that ass. Making the headlines in the back pages of the most fraudulent publications available to man. We buy them so that you don't have to. Intro greatness. I can do that right now, but I will be doing that in future videos throughout the month of January. For Arsenal, obviously, an attacking midfielder is certainly something that they should be looking at. But I tell you what, one signing is not going to fix their problems. And the same could be said for a few other clubs. Much love to everyone who has liked the video. You're massively appreciated. Intro Greatness says, I agree, we can't win the league with our centre-backs. I'm presuming he's talking about either Liverpool or Manchester United, probably Liverpool. Andrew Richardson says, if you want to break up this Liverpool and Manchester United talk, how about letting a Leicester fan have a chat, aka me? If you get in the queue, you will get your moment. United's own TV says 21 is coming. And Mike Evans is the newest member of the True Fraud Gang Members Club. Much love to your mother. Johan Kaspar Sharma says, has Brendan Rodgers been massively disrespected? We will hopefully get a Leicester City fan on if we can. Andrew Richardson, if you are in the chat, let me know your username and I'll try and get you on so that we can have a little chinwag about the Foxes. Anyway, next up on that list, we are going to go to a Mr. Billy Harding. Billy Harding, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Who are your club and what do you want to talk about?
Well, I'm a Blackpool fan, so I don't think you really want to hear about that, but I just want to talk about how the Big Six, or the traditional Big Six that Sky Sports want to project, is dead.
I'm more than happy to talk about Blackpool if that's what you want to do.
I mean, there's not really much to talk about, to be fair, so...
Tell us exactly what's been going on. Is that actually your local team?
Yeah, well, I have family from Blackpool, and so I reside in Manchester, but But I always want to talk about the Big Six and how...
No, hold on a second. We've just got to focus on the depressing state of affairs that has happened to a team who were once, not that long ago, in the top flight. And...
Yeah, I know. It's, that's what happens when you have a rapist as an owner. And this is why I sympathise with Arsenal, because you're in a quite a similar situation to us. You don't have a rapist as an owner, but you have a shit owner. And what us Blackpool fans is, we boycotted our stadium for 4 years. So I don't think that's possible at Arsenal, but
Did that get the desired result in the end?
Well, yeah, for a year and a half now, we've had a new owner, and he's brilliant. He cares about the club, and yeah, it's good times.
Okay. That is fantastic news. So basically, don't turn up to the football for 4 years, and you might be able to get the owners out.
Club. Yeah, well, it's very different at a much lower level, but I don't think it worked for us. So I think other clubs should follow suit.
Right, I hear you. Now, you want to talk about the Big Six.
Yeah.
What exactly is it that you're not happy about?
I was not, because ever since this European Super League has become an idea, and it's been like the Big Six teams, the traditional Big Six, have been the only teams talked about in it. But there are clubs like Arsenal who aren't even in the top 10 at the moment. I think it's a bit of a joke that it's even a thing at the moment or anymore.
As in people saying the Big Six.
Yeah. Or like, more like Sky Sports and those talking about it.
What would you rather they said?
I just not a Big Six. It's nothing anymore. It doesn't exist because
it's not. Right. Okay.
I think Wolves, Leicester, even Aston Villa, Southampton recently have been breaking that mold, and Wolves have been constantly in the Big Six area for a few years now. So I think
I hear what you're saying, but surely it takes a little bit more than just finishing in a position to solidify.
Oh yeah, of course it comes down to fan base, it comes down to money, but I don't think for Arsenal at least now you're in a bit. I wouldn't like to say you're in a relegation.
No. Hold on a second. Why are we talking about Arsenal? Let's talk about the Big Six. Let's stay focused.
I'm talking about the Big Six as in like Arsenal, the first club to fall out of this Big Six. It's more of it. It's like I'd say like Leicester, the new team. If there is a Big Six, I'd say Leicester is that team that would be talked about. And Wolves as well.
Okay, look, I hear what you're saying. I kind of understand where you're coming from in terms of there being no way that you can actually call Arsenal a big club anymore. Unfortunately, they have spent quite a lot of money, though, and that is kind of big money spending, in my opinion. And historically, they certainly, as far as trophies go, have the right to call themselves a big club. Whether they can carry on calling themselves part of that Big Six for much longer, I don't know, especially if they are going to finish as low as they are. But is that really what you phoned up to say?
Well, I just wanted to talk about football, not going to lie. I just wanted to talk about the beautiful game, so... I hear
you. Well, this is your chance. What else have you got for me?
Another thing. I think Ralph Hasenhüttl is one of the most underrated managers in world football at the moment. What he has done with that Southampton team is incredible. Taking them from a team that lost 9-0 to Leicester just over a year ago and creating the team with players like Danny Ings, Jay Evans, like players you wouldn't traditionally think as like top players, and turning them into top players is quite incredible in my opinion.
So if there is a Premier League side which you kind of follow, given that Blackpool have dropped so many divisions down the table, down the Football League, who is that team?
I don't really follow. I just follow the Premier League. I don't have a Premier League team.
Okay, or is there a team that you enjoy watching this season more than any other?
Well, Southampton. I've really enjoyed watching Leeds this season. Very entertaining football. It's been very interesting watching Tottenham this season and Jose and how his tactics have unfolded this season.
And do you think that they're going to stand the test of time and be able to actually mount a challenge?
Wait, who's this? Tottenham or?
Yeah, Tottenham, Mourinho.
It's interesting, but I don't think they're not going to challenge for the title this season. They know what Jose's like. He doesn't stay at clubs for a long time. Like it's normally like he has a third season where it's like kind of all falls apart for him. So I can't see a Tottenham team under Jose challenging for the title, to be honest.
I hear you. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. Much love for getting involved, mates. I hope Blackburn are back in the big time pretty soon.
Blackpool, sorry.
No worries. Dear, I'm a fan of an orange kit, that's all.
It's
anyhow.
tangerine, but we had to take it.
Oh, mate, wow. Clementine, whatever you want. Yeah?
Have a good one.
He said it's tangerine. Massive fraud. Incredible scenes. Any club, we're here to talk about all of them. Much love to everyone who is getting involved. You're making the show what it is. Anyone who is new to the stream, I'm going to be following 5 more frauds who retweet my pin tweet in the next 5 minutes. Now is your opportunity. Get involved. If you're watching the show and you do have an Instagram account, send me a picture of yourself watching it or a video or whatever. I'll post it on my story. Let's move on to the next caller, who is, I believe, a Tyler 2000. Tyler 2000, you're now live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Are you set and ready?
Yes, I am set and ready.
Oh, what a hero. Where are you calling from and which team do you support, mate?
I'm actually calling from New York, and I am a Leicester fan.
Oh, fantastic. We've got a Leicester Foxes fan in the building. Talk to me. A big win today against a Tottenham side who many had called Premier League favourites.
I would hope so. Behind Liverpool, it's also a little bit of confusion how, we can beat big teams like Spurs, but then go to a place like Fulham and lose to them. It's to a point where, I don't want it to end up like last season where we were 14 points clear, possibly getting a Champions League spot, and then falling back down to Man U again.
Okay, right. Hold on a second. I would hate to interrupt you, right? But what I need you to do is to mute the massive frauds who are in the actual Discord, just doing the Discord alert button or noise, right? So if you could just mute that for me, we can carry on and you can get deep down and dirty into whatever else is you need to do. No problem whatsoever. However, you're looking like a massive fraud early on, and they're already calling for your head. Leicester fan though. Now, were you a Leicester fan prior to the glory, or is that just kind of inspired you to get on board? Let us know. Okay, hold on a second. You just do your thing. You do your thing. I'll wait patiently. Don't worry. We're not going anywhere. What he's doing is muting his computer right now, just to make sure that he's not exposed online as a massive fraud who wasn't ready. Technical fraudulence is a regular occurrence on this show. Brendan Rodgers, though, a man who is doing absolute bits. I'm going to give you 30 seconds to sort your stuff out, mate. Now, he's created hope amongst fans, I'm sure. He's got a style of play. He hasn't bounced. I've just muted him. He can hear me. I can hear him, but you can't hear him. All right? I know what I'm doing, yeah? Brendan getting the better of Jose by Joseing Jose. They were slightly fortunate in many ways. Rash decisions from Serge Aurier. Oh, it sounds like he's actually muted it. He's either muted it or he's bopped. Which one is it?
I've muted it.
He's an absolute hero. Well done, my son. You've done well. Extra points for you. Okay, hit me with the cold, hard-hitting home truths.
I mean, the thing is, the bringing of Brendan Rodgers first of all was just an absolute class move. I mean, what the creation that he's brought to Leicester have been, incredible. But I think the problem is our injuries, where our back line has been resulting to bring in someone like Christian Fuchs or someone like Mark Albrighton, who are kind of struggling in the field. And I think it's almost at time where the next transfer window, Leicester should bring in someone to help them out, because those injury problems are definitely causing some slip-ups and easy games that we should be winning, especially. And I think Vardy definitely needs some help up top. Maybe there have been rumors around like Luka Jovic possibly coming to Leicester, although it is a very high task to buy someone like him.
Let's just say this much, right? You've had some injury problems this season, but you've also had the opportunity to bring through some players.
Yes.
The likes of James Justin, Timothy, what's his name? Castagna brought in with, Fofana looking like he's an absolute star in the making. Soyuncu, we could have said the same about not too long ago. Leicester have obviously got something good going on in the background. They're able to utilise a top quality scouting network. They are clearly a well-run club with the backing of the people. Do you think that they can, not only will they go into the market during the January transfer window, but also can they actually mount a serious challenge? Are they to be considered top four? We've been talking about this Big Six thing, but are they to be considered real top four contenders at least?
I think they can if they can put themselves out in the market and show that they can pressure the top four. Then I think they will definitely have a chance. I think that Leicester are becoming more well known around the league, and that they are showing that they can fight for that top four spot with teams like Arsenal kind of falling back down. Man, you've been struggling a little bit. Even Chelsea, even though they had brought in all those players, they're still struggling to get into that top four.
I hear you. I also hear the fraudulent Discord. Discord is in the background. And Tyler, much love to your mother for getting involved. You need to learn how to mute that thing for the next time that you come on. I hope you do come on, because we're going to be talking about your top 5 Leicester City moments. The biggest moments in Leicester City's history are almost certainly the game against Watford, really, and obviously the Premier League win. But I mean, Leicester City is a project which I think has made fantastic progress in terms of moving on from being that kind of one-off blip to able to maintain an actual we're here, we're a serious side for quite a long time now. Tyler, absolute fraud for getting involved. Next up, though, we have got And Zlatan Made God. And Zlatan Made God, you're becoming a regular on this show. I hope you're doing well. Have you been watching? Oh, hello. You're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence, mate. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Just so we can do all this stuff.
I'm Jacob, and I'm from Paris. I'd like to talk about, I can touch quickly on the Lille PSG game.
I would love to, if only because the last time that you were on, you were saying that you were slightly worried about how good Lille are, and a 0-0 draw is not going to be what you were after.
Yes, but I think...
Oh, you're actually happy with a 0-0 draw?
I'm not happy with the result. Obviously, you want to win, but the performance wasn't that bad. I think our forwards didn't do too well at converting the chances. I think our midfield was excellent. Verratti, Gay, and Rafinha, all three of them, I thought, combined really well. And I think probably if we had a fully fit Mbappe or Neymar, we probably would have won. However, we do have enough. I think Keane and Di Maria should have been able to do the job, and Di Maria created chances, but we kind of needed him to be more on the end of things.
Mate, I've got to say, listen, I watched the game, and you've had one shot. You had one shot on target, PSG.
That's true, but we dominated the ball. And to be honest, Lille, I think the midfield was good, but I think it shows that when those two players aren't here, Tuchel is a bit clueless attacking-wise. And although players like Verratti, Rafinha, and Gay played well, the fact the players we were missing definitely showed.
Do you think there's an over-reliance on those players?
I think whenever you have players of those quality, you're going to be over-reliant on them. It's just the way it is. Klopp is an exception because he's lost players like Van Dijk and stuff, and they still seem to be doing bits, but Tuchel isn't Klopp, and PSG don't have the squad Liverpool have overall.
I mean, it's not a bad squad, though.
No, it's not, but it's not as good as Liverpool's.
So anyway, going forwards, what else is it you wanted to talk about? Because I get the feeling that wasn't actually what you phoned up for.
Well, the one thing, firstly, I forgot to do this. I want to quickly shout out the Discord, the people I've been arguing with for days on the Discord. Lots of love. And the thing I wanted to talk about was the Ligue 1 transfer situation, because I think we're about to see a massive exodus from Ligue 1. with lots of teams struggling financially, and I think a lot of players are going to leave. Depay is being discussed for leaving for as little as 5 million, which is crazy. And Renato Sanchez is an example of another player who's been talked about leaving. And yeah, I think the quality of the league is actually going to suffer a lot in the next few months and possibly the next few years because of this.
Can you let us in on why exactly there is going to be an exodus? Is there something legal happening?
Yeah. So it's the TV money deal where PSG basically took a deal with a company called Téléfoot, who offered them way more money than the prior TV channel, and with that, and basically the same company that Ligue 1 decided to do business with was rejected and laughed out of the Italian league. The Italian league said, "This is a ridiculous time. You're never going to get this much money." So then they went to the French league, and when the previous channel was offered the same contract, like the same amount of money, they said, "It's impossible to make this much money off the French league. They're going to fail." And this is what's happened. They failed. Téléfoot is finished. And it's seriously going to affect TV money for a lot of teams.
I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. For you, that is going to be very sad. For English or Premier League fans, that is potentially quite exciting because you could get a lot of players looking to get out as soon as possible.
I mean, a lot of people are looking at Lyon's midfield because Lyon's midfield is absolutely stacked. Clubs like Arsenal could definitely use some players from there. And it does actually mean some good things for PSG because PSG have their owners and they're always going to be solid. It's more for the rest of the league that this is going to be that this is going to affect them. I mean, PSG is talking about signing Messi, so clearly we don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, money is not something that PSG are going to be affected by, or economic chaos is not affected.
This is more a league issue than a PSG issue. In fact, I'd say PSG are probably it's an ugly thing to say, but they're probably going to take advantage of this.
Would not be surprised to see that happen. Big games coming up for PSG, or
not really. Some mid-table games. If I'm not wrong, we have
Strasbourg next. I'm looking at here.
Strasbourg is coming up. I'm not sure if they're next. Yes, Strasbourg are next, and then we have Brest, Angers, and Montpellier. Oh, sorry, Strasbourg, Saint-Etienne, Brest, Angers, and Montpellier. So we're kind of climbing our way up the table with those 5 fixtures.
Right. If I hear from you and you don't have 5 wins out of 5, then we are going to have real issues. There is literally no excuse to be getting anything but wins in those games.
Every PSG fan says this expression, and it's PSG's biggest enemy is PSG. And that's the thing that can stop us from winning those games.
Well, I look at that team, and I'm sorry, mate. I'm not convinced that you've got your money's worth there. I'm not convinced. I still see the potential of when everyone's fit.
Yeah, but there are definitely players who are not good enough playing for this team for the ambitions of the club.
And
if the ambition is to dominate Europe, then you can't have. Who's Kurzawa start? Kurzawa had a good game today, actually. But
you've just given him a new contract, haven't you?
Yes.
Amazing. I mean, I don't know how it works sometimes. I really don't. PSG, though, slipping to 3rd place in the table. They are now behind Olympique Lyonnais and Lille. Much love for getting involved, though, bro. You will be back on, I'm sure, very shortly to tell us exactly how PSG are going forward. And Zlatan made God in the building with the Liga news that a lot of players could well be on the move very shortly. Next up on that list, we have none other than Omar Saleh. Mr. Omar has actually skipped town. He's done a runner. He doesn't want any part of it. What a massive fraud. You know, this is what happens in life sometimes. Yeah, we've talked about it. Fight or flight. Yeah? These massive frauds who are not actually ready, exposing themselves. Samad Tiago, though. Samad Tiago. You are live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love to your mother for getting involved. Let us know which club you support and what you want to talk about tonight.
Yo, am I in?
Hello, mate. You're actually live. Yes, you are live.
Nice.
You're on.
Yo, so I support United. from London. Yeah, bro. That's it, man. I've been waiting a long time. So you haven't been speaking about United for time, bro. So I'm happy to be in now.
Okay, right. First things first, right? What I want you to do is just move slightly closer to the microphone for me.
Yeah, is that better? Yeah.
There we go. That's the one I'm looking for. There he is. Okay, Omar, hit
Bro.
me with the cold, hard-hitting home truths. What's going on with Manchester United? Are you gassed? Can you win the league, or is it just Leeds?
It's just Leeds, bro. But I want to speak to you about something. Yeah. I heard what you were
Okay.
talking. You were putting. Nah. You put
I
disrespect.
know that tone. I know that tone.
You put disrespect on my boy. Yeah. Ice
Who's
cold.
that?
Ice cold Martial. You put disrespect on him. Yeah.
Oh,
So I have
have
to
a
clear
word with
some
yourself.
things up
You're actually
before we
ringing
move on.
me up to talk about Martial missing sitters from 4
Alright.
yards out. Professional footballers on over 100 grand a week missing sitters. Yeah?
Listen. Alright.
One-on-one sitters.
No. Look, I'll agree with you. Yeah, he should have scored both of them anyway. But
Do you think he's good enough to play up front for United?
yes, and let me tell you why. Yeah,
So hold on a second. Before you just tell me why, you're happy with Manchester United, who you want to be winning fucking Premier League titles and Champions League trophies. You're happy with a Don who's never scored more than 15 goals in a season playing
That's
up
a lie,
front
'cause
for
he's-
United.
He scored
All
17
right,
goals. Scored 17 goals last season.
Sorry. Let me just finish my sentence. Yeah, more than once in his Premier League career.
Okay, so let me answer that.
What is
yeah?
that a fact? Is that a fact?
Yeah, let me answer that.
Because
now,
he's
yeah?
never got more than 10 or 12 apart from that 1 year.
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that. Yeah. So he
You do
comes
that.
in. Yeah, he's a 19-year-old. He bags what, like 12 goals in one season. Yeah, that's
Okay,
as a 19-year-old.
okay.
That you don't see that happen a lot. Yeah. And the thing that happened here is with Mourinho. So the season where we signed Sanchez, yeah, Martial got 11 goals in 19 games, and then for some reason he just gets dropped. Sanchez goes on the left wing when Sanchez should have gone on the right wing, and then we stuck with Lukaku. Okay, the thing with Martial is he brings other stuff with his game. So like even today he didn't score, but he literally created 4 chances, yeah, and 4 of them led to goals. So the first one he created, the Lindelof one, Cavani should have scored. Like he's not a selfish player, even though his body language looks like he's not interested. But if you actually watch him properly, you see that he's not a selfish player. He actually created a lot of chances. So when you talk about Firmino, oh Firmino's this is that, or there was so much Firmino gas on Sky Sports, that they get gassed over Firmino, which is fine, good. But when someone like Martial puts a Firmino-esque performance, you talk about when he that he missed some chances. I remember what's his name, Carragher, yeah. He was talking about United. Oh, they don't have a striker that can score 20 goals a season. Yeah, they were talking about that's why we're not going to win the league, and we're still not going to win the league. But Firmino's not a 20 goal season striker, is he? The reason why they're doing so good.
Let me just talk. Why are you talking about Firmino? You sound like you got these guys living in your head rent free.
No.
Who's talking about Firmino?
No. But it's just like you need to appreciate ballers, and Firmino is a baller. You can see his technical ability, and even though
You see, this is upsetting to me, man. This is upsetting to me. See, I grew up with United, who were actually the best team in the country, full stop. Yeah? Arsenal had to come on and just kind of get in the conversation and just give the league a little bit of flavour for a minute, tell you how to play football, yeah? Because you were just bullying dons. And really and truly now I'm seeing the expectations have dropped. The bar has fallen so far that the bar is now under the floor. You're actually telling me that, because that striker gets credit for not scoring goals, it's okay for our striker to get credit and not score goals.
No.
Let's wake up, bro. He should have scored 4 goals today. I don't care about the penalty. That was a fucking dive. I don't care about the assist. We know he's a creative player. He's a talented individual. I know that. I've given him the credit for that. You should be scoring sitters from 3 yards out, one-on-one with the keeper. Am I right or not?
You know what, yeah. That's why I said, Hugh, you're right. He should have scored those 2 chances.
I'm never wrong, baby!
But there's one thing, what you need to realize is that sometimes players, they go on, they have bad patches, yeah? So Aubameyang, he's been on a bad patch, yeah? But the difference between some players is that even when they're on a bad patch and they're not scoring, they're doing other things for the team. So literally 4 of our goals came from him. And I don't mind that. If my strikers, he's on a drought, but he brings other stuff, then that's when I know that guy's a baller. But if that guy, he's not bringing anything else and he's not scoring, if he's not even getting in the position to have a chance, then that's when I'm going to be worried. But he's getting in the position. He just needs a little bit of luck, and then things will start going his way. But enough Martial talk. Yeah, we'll go to the main the main topic of discussion, which is United. I don't know.
Okay.
What did you make of our performance, and like, what do you think about it?
There's pros and cons, man. It was entertaining stuff. I don't know if that's what you're really looking for as a United fan, but certainly been something that some United fans have complained about. They went and got goals. They could have scored more. I do think it's very much that it was against Leeds that you're able to play that expansively, but he did certain things, even in bringing in the likes of Dan James and McTominay, that I thought was smart. And it's a big 3 points, man. And I genuinely think people are foolish if they ever write off Manchester United, because it doesn't matter if you've actually got me in charge of that club. With that amount of talent, you're going to score goals. That amount of options, you're going to be able to get yourself out of holes. And, you know...
I don't know about that. I low-key disagree because, for example, that City game, we had Rashford, Greenwood up there, but we were too negative. Like, we didn't create any, like, clear-cut chances.
No, he's got it wrong a few times. He got it wrong against Arsenal. I'm not trying to say that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a masterclass of a manager, but you're not ever trying to tell me that with the line... Listen, your fourth-choice striker would start for Arsenal. Yeah. So I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. United are more than capable if they get their mentality right, if they are playing as a unit, and if they actually back that manager and want to fight for him. They're more than capable of producing a few shocks. And, you know, it's going to go wrong a couple of times. But honestly, mate, of all the teams in the league, barring Liverpool and City, there's no one else who's got a patch on you right now.
I know, but I think Oli can only take us so far because there's a few things like he made a really good choice today, and I was getting onto him on Twitter today, but he made a good choice with putting Dan James because it actually worked. But there's so many times when it hasn't worked for him. So that's the thing. I don't trust him. He won't get us the league title, but he can take us to, you know, only so far, and then we're gonna need like a Pochettino or someone else. I don't know, but he can't take us that far. Like, for example, I don't know if you watched the Leipzig game, but he subbed off Tellers, to bring on Brandon Williams. So he subbed off Tellers to bring on Brandon Williams. Then he just puts fullbacks and centre backs on when we're chasing the game. Like, I don't understand what he's doing. So, like, Oli, he can only take us so far, and like, you know, maybe we'll come second or third, but we're not gonna challenge Liverpool. Like,
is that not progress? Is that not progress?
And you know, as a United fan, as long as we're getting better every season, that's all that matters to me. But I think he goes so far, and to be fair with him, there's our defense. I'll be honest, our defense they're quite bad. So Maguire and Lindelof, they're all right, but they'll put in a couple good performances. Yeah, like today they'll all right, but I mean, Maguire was really good the game before. He was quite good, but then he'll make a mistake, or Lindelof will get bodied, or he'll get out-headed in the air, even though he's a decent player. But like you said, we're Man United. You know, I watched Vidic, Ferdinand, you know, these real defenders like play for us, innit? So like, you know, they can't get us. They can't get us. Like, we can't win the league just based on our attack. We need to fix our defense. Wan-Bissaka, like, he's good at tackling, but I don't know if you saw it today. Every time they cross the back post, he's not there. He's non-existent. Like, Leeds could have scored like 2 goals.
He's very, very gettable. It's one of the weaknesses that Leipzig really went for, didn't they?
Yeah, Leipzig as well. And I don't know if it's because Wan-Bissaka has no position sense to crossing, or it's because he just doesn't trust Lindelof enough to win header, so you know he comes closer just to cover it. Because of that, he leaves us. But
Look, you know, I think you've had an exciting day out, or well, a day in probably, watching a team who leave more space than you're going to find in any other game in the league. So I hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully, you know, well, not hopefully, but you know, it looks like United may well be actually about to be stepping into an area where they should be, and that is in the conversation at least. Listen, much love for getting involved, mate. You're an absolute hero. If you do want to call into the show, all you got to do is click on the link for the Discord down below. The link is right there. You can join the queue and you will get on. We can talk about your club, your life, or whatever it is that you're looking for. Manchester United fans in the building, not happy. Seems like Liverpool live rent-free in their head, and will be doing for the majority of their lives until they win the league again. How long are they going to have to wait for that? Let's talk to another United fan. It's United Zone TV. You're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love for getting involved. Where are you calling from, mate? This guy's been genuinely badgering me for like 4 days, maybe even a week to get on the show. Here he is, live and exclusive, not ready, not even listening. Is he actually tuned in right now, or is he just sitting in the call? There he is, breathing, heavy breathing. Heavy breathing. There he is, mate. We've waited a long time to make this call happen. You're now live and exclusive.
The fraud god himself.
Indeed. Let us know let the people know what your name is and where you're calling from.
My name is Martin. I'm from Toronto. Shout out Toronto.
Toronto views.
Yes, sir. Yes,
wow.
sir.
Do you remember when Arsenal fans used to mock Manchester United saying views from the 6th? Incredible. How Arsenal would love to be in Toronto right now. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's pretty dope stuff.
what's on your mind? You're a Manchester United fan, clearly.
Bro, I've heard so many United fans come on here and just absolutely like, I've never heard them be so negative about our club. Listen, since Fergie retired, we've been in the best position we've ever been in under any manager. Ole is one of the most disrespected managers in the whole league. Listen, I'm going to bring a little stat for you, right? We're sitting 5 points under top spot with 1 game in hand, and you have yet to play Liverpool. Now, I know that our defense is a bit shaky, I'm not going to lie. But recently, Lindelof and Maguire, like, they look like they've been putting in a bit of good performances for us, and they've got a bit of consistency going. And I feel like people just need to like calm down. Like every game we go, oh, but yeah, it's just this, it's just Leeds, it's just West Ham, but we're getting the wins though. Like we're getting the 3 points, and we're slowly moving up.
So you're confident. How far do you think United can go then?
I'm not 100% like saying like, oh, we're gonna win the league 100%. There's no doubt. Listen, people just need to start having a bit more confidence in our players. Like Martial today, he missed too many chances. Like I was fuming. I'm like, bro, you need to score those. Like there's no way you should be missing that as our number 9. But he did get a couple assists for us. And Rashford has been playing the best football he's been playing throughout his whole career for us so far. Bruno, I mean, what more can you say about Bruno? In my opinion, he's the best midfielder in the world right now. The thing is, we still got Pogba to come off the bench. Cavani only played 20 minutes for us. We haven't even hit top form yet. We're still within 5 points of the top spot. We still have room to improve, and we still have growth, and yet we're still in there. It's just
so really your grievance is with other Manchester United fans. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much, because everyone that comes on here goes like, I don't know, I don't think Ole can do it, but you have to see there's progress there. Last year we made the top 4 after, and it's just annoying because after 4 or 5 games, people write us off going, oh, the league is done for them. But
the Champions League is done. You're out. So you're in. You're in the same cup as Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? That's you wasted all that time to get into the same tournament as Arsenal. Incredible. Wow. They're losing hope because you're losing to people that they've never heard of before.
Come on, bro. I'm not talking about the Champions League. Listen, I know you don't gotta rub it in my face. Listen, I'm talking about the Premier League.
Just the Premier League.
I'm talking about the Premier League. It's just annoying because after like 4 or 5 games, people write us off, and then get a couple of results here and there, and you're back in it. It's just people need to calm down and just appreciate what's going on right now and see that there's clear progress within the league. Yes, we're out of the Champions League because there were some questionable decisions made and a lot of individual mistakes during a couple of those games. But even against against PSG in the Champions League, we went down to 10 men and we were still having a lot of the ball, and PSG were countering us. I don't know if you watched that game, but that's how it went.
It's very interesting hearing all this because I do think that United obviously did look great today. I do think they've got a squad that's more than capable of doing bits. I'm also kind of understanding, and you think that Ole is not the perfect guy for the job. However, you're right, he is getting the results, and sometimes a little bit of positivity wouldn't go amiss. Listen, mate, much love for getting involved. You're an absolute hero. United Zone TV, repping Ole FC. He says 6 more years at the wheel, please. Much love for getting involved. Next up on that list, we are going to go to Mr. or Mrs. I don't know which one. L White 94. L White, how you doing, mates? Where are you calling from? You know when people they just don't get it, do they? Mr. L White, you're massive frauds. You are unfortunately getting kicked. I've lost the patience with you. You've had your moment. You've had your time. Fisher 22 is hopefully someone that is on the ball. I've just got a feeling that he's an on the ball Don. Fisher, you're live and exclusive on the internet's favourite football phone-in show.
How are you, Hugh? It's good to see you. Good to hear from you again. How you doing?
Epic. I'm doing very well, mate. How you doing? What are you calling up about tonight?
I'm good. I was the Fulham fan from the other day, and just wanted to talk about the Brighton game and the Newcastle game.
Okay, yes, indeed. Let's do it. Brighton, a 1-1 draw. Danny Welbeck breaking Sheffield United hearts.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm talking about like when Brighton played Fulham about it was like last week, I think.
Oh.
I predicted it to be 2-1, and it only came off as 1-1. In terms of like how Fulham played, I'm a little bit disappointed because we had, you know, a bunch of chances that we could have scored. I did think that Sanchez, the Brighton goalkeeper, was very good. There was one opportunity. I think it was Loftus-Cheek. He was in on goal, and he fluffed his lines and he hit it right at the keeper. You know, either side of the goalkeeper, he's scoring, and he fluffed his lines and he hit it right at him, and that could have been 3 points. So I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I can't lie.
Okay. However, you are picking up points despite a red card, a 1-1 draw against Newcastle.
Wasn't too bad, I'll be honest. I think in terms of how we played against in terms of how Fulham played against Newcastle, it was pretty decent. Like, I watched the entire match. In the first half, Fulham were not monopolizing possession. They looked very good. We had a midfield three of Anguissa and Lamina holding, 2 holding mids. They were fantastic. And then Tom Kearney, who, I'll be honest, I think he kept the tempo very well. Loftus-Cheek was dropped to the bench, and Kearney, he kept the tempo, he kept the ball kind of every time he had it. He looked very good. Lookman, always dangerous. He was giving Yedlin a really tough time on the left-hand side. And then Mitrovic got the start up top over Cavaliero, which, I'll be honest, I thought it was a smart move. You know, I think Mitrovic has played with Newcastle before, so he knows like some of the defenders and that, so it was good to start him. The only problem I think was he wasn't getting in the box enough to really capitalize on opportunities. There were a few crosses that came in, and Mitrovic isn't there for the header, which is unfortunate. He wanted to play make more than actually go and get a goal. I honestly thought that we could have held on and potentially scored another in the second half, but the red card killed us, I'll be honest.
It changed the game, didn't it? Because he had all the ball in the first half and almost none of it in the second, but still made a few things happen. Look, he's got them playing some quite good football.
Yeah.
Is survival actually on the cards?
I think potentially, I'll be honest, I think there is a possibility that Fulham could stay up. I'm a bit worried about some fixtures, especially with teams around us, because if Fulham lose focus, they'll lose the match. Like, absolutely. But teams around us, I'm really worried about, because they're going to get really scrappy, really physical, because they're going to want the points as well. So we need to essentially, pretty much basic football knowledge. If you're on the road, you get a point. If you're at home, you need to be getting 3, you know? Like,
the last 2 games have been the crucial ones, haven't they, though? Brighton and Newcastle are 2 that you kind of need to pick up something from. So 3 points from 3 games. If you include Liverpool in that, it's not the worst.
It isn't terrible, but I feel as though, I'm going to be 100% honest to you, we need a strike in January. We need a strike in January because we're not scoring enough. We are getting good opportunities and we're not putting the ball away. Mitrovic, you know, he didn't really look a threat in the Newcastle game, I'll be honest. He wasn't really threatening their goal. And then Cavaliero against Brighton didn't really threaten either. You know, I mean, we are getting chances and we're getting crosses into the box because our wide men are very good. We have Bobby Reed, who's playing very well at the moment, and Ademola Lookman. He's lightning. He's brilliant. But in terms of like productivity up front and scoring goals, it's just not there. Cavaliero hasn't really been scoring. Mitrovic hasn't really been scoring. We're lacking those goals.
Anyone on your mind, potential ins that you can tell us about?
I don't really. I know a lot of people have been talking about maybe getting a French striker from the French league because of the TV deal being up, but I don't really know who to get. You know, like there isn't anyone there that I feel could kind of suit the system. If I'm being 100% honest, Giroud. I know it's completely pretty unrealistic, but he does fit kind of what we need. A fox in the box kind of striker.
Giroud's she's a World Cup winner, bro. He's a European Cup winner. You know, he's a multiple championship winner. He's starts for France. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a great striker, and he's a fox in the box, and he'll score goals, and that's kind of what we need. You know, if he can get service from out wide, he can score goals, and even not from out wide, he picks up good positions, and he scores. That's kind of what we need. I was also thinking maybe, you know, looking at the championship, potentially someone like Ivan Toney or Josh King, you know, someone like hungry that wants to come into the Premier League and make an impact. You know, maybe someone like that, but we need to sort out that striker situation because
I hear you. You do need the goals. However, I've got a Fulham fan actually on the line now complaining about scoring goals when they themselves have scored more than Arsenal Football Club. My fraudulent friend, it's been a pleasure talking to you, but I cannot actually muster this conversation of you need to survive. That's what you need. And I reckon that you've got a guy here who is playing good football. He has got the confidence of a few, you know, good results going their way, and having made some sufficient changes in the last one, I'm expecting this window to be similarly fruitful. At least if they want to survive, like you said, they're going to have to do something. Much love for getting involved, bro. I hope you call on again. What's the next game for you?
Cheers to you. I think we have Southampton on Boxing Day. And
Southampton on Boxing Day.
And then after that, we have Tottenham.
Two huge games. There will be late night fraudulence after both of those. Make sure you get involved. Love to your mother. Fisher 22 in the building with the fraudulent Fulham call. Next up on that list, we've got TMC 2001. TMC, you're live and exclusive. How you doing, mate?
I'm very good, Hugh. How are you?
I'm not bad. Where are you calling from tonight, mate?
I'm calling all the way down here in New Zealand.
New Zealand? I thought I could hear a little twang.
Yes.
Which team do you support, and what have you called up to talk about tonight?
So I was born into being an Everton fan. So
fantastic. Okay.
Following my club for kind of nigh on 15 years now. And I pretty much just kind of called up to talk about them, and actually to ask you, Hugh, for an apology for sort of at the start of the season, maybe being a bit reactionary and gassing us up too much. I know I
No, I'm not having that. Listen, all right, listen. I did not in any way, shape or form say that you would get Champions League football. However, you definitely are playing a much more attractive style of football. There's much more balance to the side, and when they're all fit, they can beat anyone. I mean, that is progress. You got one of the best left backs in world football. You got a phenomenal striker who has come on leaps and bounds. Richarlison is playing Brazilian national team football. I mean, you got probably on its day the most balanced midfield in the Prem if Doucouré, Allen and James are all in. I mean, maybe one or two more bits, but you've got to say that they're going in the right direction. Farhad Moshiri, Alisha Usmanov, they've pulled off a masterstroke with this manager. Where do you actually think you can finish?
That's an interesting question. I definitely think that top four in Champions League football, it has been kind of maybe more of an unrealistic aim the last sort of 5 years, but I really think that that's kind of what we've got to be aiming for. And if the amount of money that we've spent over the last 5 years, it's all been on kind of, shit. So to kind of get some good players and actually recruit smartly like we've done in the summer has been a real kind of, I don't know, refreshing feeling around the club. And so, I definitely think that now that, as I say, we have recruited well, Champions League football should be our aim, if not this season, then in the next, if we can, bring in a little bit more cover for some of those positions that, as you say, we've had those injuries. And, when Luca Dean is out, we have some under 23s French left back who has impressed, but it's kind of, we do need that cover in some of those positions. And if that happens, then I don't see why Champions League football can't be our aim in the future.
Look, 3 wins on the bounce against Chelsea, Leicester and Arsenal, with the next game against Sheffield United. That is impressive, man. Lots of green, lots of points. 10 points from your last 4 games. It's put you into 4th, and I guess there's only 2 or 3 teams that can actually mathematically take over. It's looking good so far. You're in the top 4. I don't know why everyone is so pessimistic and down. This is unbelievable progress, and surely if you've been supporting for 15 years, this is the best that you've seen Everton for a hot minute.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I mean, I've suffered under watching Martinez and Koeman kind of run my club into the ground, and Allardyce having to come in when we were in relegation zone a couple of years ago. So no, obviously this is much better than that. But at the same time, I think back to glory days of Cahill heading them in, and Arteta and David Moyes leading us to what could have been Champions League football kind of 10 years ago. And so I still kind of hold hope to that. And that was when I first started watching. And so I kind of was in for a few years after that weren't so great, or an FA Cup final in 2008 against Chelsea. So I definitely think that, as you say, this is the best that we've been, and I can't be complaining, and I shouldn't be complaining. But there been one other thing that I did kind of call up to say is that there have been cracks. We saw that against the likes of Burnley, Leeds, Southampton, Newcastle, where Ancelotti has actually been kind of, and I don't mean to question Don Carlo because he has, as you say, really brought us up. But
it sounds like you're about to.
It does sound like I'm about to, and I might be. But, I am one of the frauds, so that's why I'm part of the panel. But he's been really kind of resolute or kind of uncompromising in terms of some of the tactics that, sorry, not the tactics and formations, but some of the players that we have, the likes of a really young Anthony Gordon, who's shown a whole lot of promise coming on the left and is like for like the most kind of similar player to Richarlison. And when he was out for that suspension following the Liverpool game, it would have been nice to see a little bit more, I don't know, kind of allowance to put some of those players in and just see what they could do when, I don't know, we were up against, at the time when we were flying, some quote unquote easier kind of opposition, mainly more against Newcastle than Southampton. But yeah,
I get where you're coming from, and I really do, right? But I do also hear other fans of other clubs talking like this as well. And you got to understand that if he's got aspirations of getting you Champions League football, he's not going to put his neck on the line by constantly playing dons who've got no experience.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
I can understand just fitting one guy in or the odd guy in if you have to, or if you can, or if you're up, or if it's not a massive game or a League Cup or something. But honestly, this is why I don't even blame Klopp for just playing all the same players whenever he can, because you want to put your best 11 out as much as possible. I get this thing of pushing the youth, giving opportunities, but also you got to realise this is results business, and people switch over one missed opportunity or whatnot. So he's not going to put his reputation at stake like that.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. But you kind of, we haven't seen Anthony Gordon, I don't think, feature for more than a half this season. He's in terms of in a game. So, and he was really impressive towards the back end of last season when we were kind of struggling and we didn't have a lot of those additions we have now. And he showed more fight and determination, I think, and kind of love for our club I think, being a local lad than a lot of these others have done in the past. And I kind of more talking about the likes of Sigurdsson or those who we have brought in, Fabian Delph, and have not really kind of hit the ground running. But I guess my other example in terms of where I was going with that was again the Newcastle game when we played, I think, something like 6 central midfielders and sort of Gomez, Sigurdsson, Delph, and Davies, and a whole lot more. And I guess I was kind of a little bit worried about how we were maybe seeing some signs of a manager who doesn't trust some players when maybe they should be given a chance.
I hear what you're saying, and I totally empathise with it. I can understand what it means to have players that are actually fighting for the badge, or you know that they understand what it really means to play for the club. I just think you're playing in the big leagues now, man. You're playing with the big boys, and a lot of the time that can't be given, or that responsibility can't be put on the kids' shoulders. However, much love for calling in. You're a massive, massive certified fraud gang member, TMC 2001 Everton fan, calling all the way from New Zealand. He must be 3 in the afternoon there, luckiest guy out. Next up on the show, we've got Paul McManamus, I believe. Paul, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love for getting involved. Where are you calling from tonight? Paul, mate.
Hello.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing fine. I'm calling from Newcastle.
Ah, Newcastle. Newcastle United fan, I presume.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Okay, talk to me then. What's in your mind tonight?
Steve Bruce.
Oh, I thought it might be.
I get to the stage where I get every Newcastle game and I'm thinking this is the same thing. The stage where I'm watching the game going, we're going to put it back past this. And
What is this? You get into the stage. Sorry, I lost you there for a second.
sorry,
You get into the stage
I'm
now
getting
where
to
you
the
think,
stage
well,
where I'm going into the game and getting annoyed in the first minute because we're literally sitting back so far and we're not attacking.
right?
And
Are we talking specifically about the Fulham game or just in general now?
well, the Fulham game, but you also had the Leeds game. You have even previous games. I've not genuinely seen us looking to win a game. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Okay. Now this is something about Steve though, isn't it? He's
Yeah.
obviously got in his mind that this is how to stay afloat in the Prem.
But I'd take the Southampton model, for example, because we could do risks on managers, because I've got 3 managers I could rattle off now. Marcelino, Kike Setien, and is it Jesse Maresh from Salzburg?
Okay.
I think
Right.
those 3 managers would do well for us. And if we've got a director of football, a lot of these issues would get solved, like the Joe Linton transfer, for example. Which I don't think Joe Linton's a bad player. I just think he's being mismanaged. I don't know what you think, but
Yeah, it's interesting that he costs so much money. I think.
and the fact that St. Maximin hasn't been seen for weeks and no one knows where he is. The club hasn't reported where he is. Fans want to know, and the fans aren't getting told. And it's just the idea, because
Wait. Can you just go over that again? No one knows where he is.
like the fans have been demanding for the last couple of weeks to the club. No one knows where St. Maximin is, and there's rumours coming out that either he's had a bust up with Bruce and he's went back to France and he doesn't want to talk to anyone at the club, or there's other issues going on with the style of play and he wants to play in another position.
I thought he had a calf injury.
No one knows.
Right, okay. So your players have gone missing. Steve Bruce potentially losing the dressing room, or?
I think he already has, because there was that hint with Almiron's agent, if you remember.
Yes,
When
I
he came
do.
out and said that he wanted to go to a different club, Atletico, but Atletico don't play the way he wants to, which is a weird suggestion. But I think it's more, I want to talk as well about the director of football model, because when Ashley was first around in 2009, he had the correct idea when he brought Dennis Wise in, but he brought the wrong person in. So if I had a director of football then, like someone like, because there's at Brentford, Carabao Cup game coming up, there is someone called Phil Giles, who was a Newcastle fan who has done the Brentford model to a T. Ball players low, sold them high. That's someone I would get in, but if not, this may you may want to just shoot me down here. Ralph Ragnick
Right.
would be someone I would love to get in.
Right. See, this is the thing. You're talking about things like you're a football man. Like you understand that there needs to be a real plan if you want to have a
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Progression at the football club. But ultimately, let's deal with the reality. And the reality is that you're not. You're owned by a guy who's more interested in other things. And
he's more interested in Burberry.
Well, staying afloat in the Premier League is obviously lucrative enough for them, or putting himself in a position to be able to sell the club.
I love the idea of staying afloat in the Premier League. I want progression. I want to see the team progressing. I don't want 30% possession at home to Fulham. I don't want one shot on target up to the 45th minute. I want at least, this may be a bit too bold for some of the pundits out there, but 45% possession at home with a few shots on target, and showing we're having an attack each game and have a plan, because every time Newcastle go on that field, I'm looking at it going, I don't know what formation you're playing.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I hear you.
Like
It's uninspiring to say the least.
Yeah. It's annoying that we'll have to put up with it. More annoying that pundits are coming out and defending him, looking from the outside, going, well, he's doing a good job because he's 12th. But we just got, and then there was one particular pundit, I think you know who I'm going to go on about, that said, who would you rather want to be, Leeds or Newcastle? And he said Newcastle. And today he said, who would you rather be, Leeds or Brighton or West Brom?
Oh, is he talking to Newcastle fans when he says this?
He said that last week. But today he was talking about West Brom and saying, and he said at this stage, who would you rather be, Brighton or West Brom?
So basically trying to insinuate that you should be happy with what you're getting.
Yes, and we shouldn't demand what Leeds are getting at the moment, which is...
Yeah. I get this a lot myself, even as an Arsenal fan, and I've got to stress, Arsenal are currently 4 points behind Newcastle, and Newcastle have a game in hand, but I totally empathise with where you're coming from, because as a football fan who has seen your club do special things, even in the Champions League...
I'm of the age, I've just missed Kevin Keegan, but I've got to witness Sir Bobby's reign, which was... But... There was that.
Well, look, man, things are not the same. The reality is that life has moved on, and where once upon a time you were big money spenders who played an incredibly exciting brand of football, you know.
There is that, but there is this idea that we're deluded, but it may sound like I'm deluded, I don't care, but it's the idea that I want more from the club.
And you are well within your rights to demand more, mate. I've been to Newcastle and St James's Park a couple of times, and it is one of those... And it's a library. Well, it's not that. No, to me, it was like a... What do you call it? It was like a... Something that I had to do. I can't actually remember what the term of phrase is, but
it's like going on like a pilgrimage or something like that.
It is, that's it. That is the word I was looking for. It's like a pilgrimage, and it was kind of killed for me by the fact that you always put us up in the clouds, but ultimately... It's
well, ironically,
quite clear.
If the Premier League didn't allow us to have a review of it, you probably would have got lower.
Yeah. Well, look, it's the same. It's the same place like Barcelona, even further up in the sky. Ultimately, my point is that it is a place where you can see that football is life, and if someone was smart enough to invest properly, that they could actually turn that place into, again, like a home of football. It could become an epicenter of, like, you know, tourism in the north, for being an attraction that really isn't going to be right now.
I'm tired of takeover talk. I'm tired of it.
What's the only thing that's going to get you out of this, mate?
I know. I understand how the takeover will get us out of it, but I'm just tired of it. We've had 5 months to a year of it, and I'm just sick of it. I just want to accept the inevitable. Ashley will be here, but give us a few months break of it, because we're just going through arbitration and there's nothing.
Nothing is changing. I hear you. I hear you. I really do. I'm not convinced that anything will change, especially if Newcastle are as safe as they appear to be. And you may well have to really dig in and get ready for a bumpy ride. However, you do have the option of causing some noise. Get together, say your piece. Don't be afraid to speak out. Make yourself known and heard by not going, not paying, not buying things.
Yeah,
because ultimately,
we already do that. But the Blackpool
It's
fan
not
you had on
enough.
saying you don't go to the games. We've tried that. We can't not go to games. Like we can't. It's one of those things in the DNA we can't get rid of.
yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Listen, mate, I'm going to love you and leave you.
No, thanks for
Much
having
love
us
for getting
on and have a
involved.
good
You're an
Christmas.
absolute legend. Absolute legends from up and down the country and all over the world. I'm going to take a little break, a little breather. We're going to be back in a minute or so. But for now, make sure you do get your comments and questions in, because that's the next thing that I'm going to be going through. What have we got? We've got about 15 comments and questions. I need a break. I'm going to be getting myself a drink, going to the loo, but I'll be back in about 2 minutes, all right? Okay, you massive frauds. Let's get back into this. And we are back. Much love for everyone who has stayed throughout the entirety of both streams. You're massively appreciated. If you are still in here and you haven't already dropped the video a like, if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be even more appreciated. Celtic Glasgow in the building. Much love to your mother for getting involved. Tino McQuendy is the newest member of the Fraud Gang Members Club. Adrian Kang says, have fun in the championship, Wizzy. Up the Reds. Up yours. Andrew no, only joking. Thanks for getting involved. Andrew Richardson, hopefully we end up speaking. I haven't managed to find you just yet. Maybe haven't worked out how to get in the queue. Khalid Garbia says, our B team can beat City's B team in the Carabao Cup. No way are you an Arsenal fan. Are you actually an Arsenal fan gassing Arsenal's B team? I guess it's better than their A team right now, isn't it? Let's not beat around the bush. I'm seeing some tweets. I'm seeing some Instagram dons. Much love to everyone who has got involved throughout the night. Liu says, who finishes higher, Everton or Southampton? It's got to be Everton, hasn't it? Hassan Hüttel's got them working, though. Do you know what? Southampton play better football. That's the fact. They actually do. If they can keep up that work ethic, that intense press throughout the season, I'll have Southampton, yeah. Reginald Max says, if you don't get relegated, what's going to be your next step? Up the Chelsea. Much love to your mothers. Fucking hell. We're not getting relegated, mate, right? I'll see you at the end of the season to confirm that, but we're not getting relegated, okay? There's plenty of time for us to turn things around. In fact, there's 24 games left. Is that right? 24 games left. No worries. Absolutely no worries. Except that I'm being sent stats. Who's sending me stats? I'm getting notifications telling me you've got stats, incoming stats to go through. hughwizzy, thoughts? Who's this massive fraud? Who's this actual bellend? Devil Beaky, United fan for life. Look at this fucking fraud sending me stats about how shit Arsenal are, like I don't know my own club. Thanks, mate. Cheers for that. If you watched the content, then you'd realise that we went through this exact picture during the last video, so well done for exposing yourself as a massive fraud. But thanks for joining us. Viniac says, late night fraudulence during online class. Mate, put the fucking video down and learn something so that you're not a delinquent by the age of 15. Cheers. We don't want more unemployed dons out here. Yeah? Okay. Seriously, much love to everyone who has got involved. We are going to go straight back to the phone lines any second now. 2 games to go through tomorrow, Burnley against Wolves and the London Derby with Chelsea taking on West Ham. Have we got any of those fans of those clubs in the chat? We're going to do 2 or 3 more tonight. We'll start with James. I hope everybody is ready to take their opportunity. James, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. Much love for getting involved. Where are you calling from? Which club do you support and what do you want to talk about?
Man City. Yeah.
Oh, say that again, mate. I didn't hear you.
City fan.
He's a City fan. Where are you calling from, mate?
I can talk about anything if you want.
No. Where are you calling from? Where are you calling from?
Stockport.
Oh, fantastic. Wow. The home of Phil Foden. Incredible.
Yes. He's not playing though, so that's a bit, you know.
Yeah, it's slightly fraudulent, but look, we like him anyway. And you're doing what needs to be done, I guess.
Yes.
Or
we are
that's
grinding
what's
out
important.
results.
Right. Are you confident that City are actually being underestimated? Are you actually comfortable with them being written off by so many?
mean, how can we be written off?
Well, plenty of people think that City don't have the legs.
We've got a better squad than most. We've got the second best squad in the league behind Liverpool. I feel like there's one of 3 that can go on runs. Well, yeah, one of 3 that can go on runs, and I think run like a 10-game run or 12-game run will decide who wins Premier League.
So, do you back your boys to do just that, or do you think it's a stretch too far?
Yes, because we're good defensively. Before the West Brom goal concede, was it 600 minutes without a goal conceded in all competitions, and we've got the best defensive record in the Premier League.
Okay, so you're actually confident then. Amazing scenes, because a lot of people, like I said, have written off this season.
I think
for
that's
Pep.
just because we're struggling in front of goal. But
right now, how are you going to deal with the lack of Aguero's goals or consistency?
I mean,
really?
hopefully he's back soon. He's had a few niggles and maybe I think his knee's a bit thingy, but I think
Is he ever going to be the same player?
Unlike
It's
Arsenal,
looking
we are
like it's-
creating chances. And
He's on
when
the
you
way
are
out, though, isn't
creating
he?
chances, goals will come eventually.
I mean, I like that. You're not wrong. You're actually not wrong. You're never wrong. However, he is coming towards the end of the run now, isn't he?
Who?
Aguero. You're going to need someone
Yes.
else.
Well, the obvious one is Haaland.
I mean, it's amazing that, like, what a life to be able to just pluck out like a career mode. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
who are the best players? Let's get those ones. Imagine. God, incredible.
Some people have the luxury, but you know.
Well, look, I'll tell you this much: Haaland is not going to be available in January. He's
Yeah, I know
almost certainly
that,
not going to be available in the summer. Is it? Well, actually, no. Hold on a second. Hasn't he got a release clause?
I think.
Yeah, he's got a release clause of about 80 million euros, apparently.
I mean that's a club record fee, but that's Pepe plus 8 mil. So what's that? Pepe got you 5 goals last year, so or something like that. Maybe a bit more.
Oh, you think you're coming on here and winning like that? Bro. Oh,
I mean, to be honest, if I'm.
Do you know
if I'm
what?
gonna
Listen.
be
I want
honest,
to
think
record that. Hold on a second. Hold on. What's his name? James. What's your actual name, mate? Talk to us.
James.
James, mate, right, you better come on after that Carabao Cup game, bro. I swear to God, if you lose that game, I need you to come on the show. Win, lose, or draw, in fact, you come on. Yeah?
Bro, there's no way we can lose. You've
There's
got
no way you
Holding
can
at centre back.
lose.
I can't. We've got Holding and Bellerin.
Oh, wow. Okay, hold on a second. So you're telling me that you're fully confident. Make sure you don't fucking bunk class when we're on next. I'm telling you.
No way,
When is
no
that
way.
game? It's in a couple of days.
Yes, Tuesday.
Okay. Tuesday night, baby. I'll see you here. Late night
Yes.
fraudulence here, James. Don't let me down. Much love for getting involved, James, Manchester City fan from Stockport, who came on with all the balls, talking about they're still going to win the title. I mean, I think they have been written off. I think they've been underestimated, disrespected, given what they've achieved as a team, as a manager. He has been as well. I really like the progression we're seeing with Stones. Diaz looks like he could be top quality given a bit of time, because he's hit the ground fucking running and looks almost dependable right now. And they've been picking up clean sheets galore. Another win against the Southampton side this time, who are very, very dangerous and press more intensely than anyone else, I think, in the league. Maybe barring Leeds, probably, or Liverpool. Probably more than Liverpool these days, to be honest. Write them off at your peril, City. However, they do need goals. Who's next up? Next up, we have got Usama. Usama, you're live and exclusive on Late Night Fraudulence. I hope you're doing well. What's your call about tonight? Usama, mate, you know, some dons are prepared. Some dons come ready. Some don't, and some miss their chance. It's a bit like life, really, isn't it? Alex Sandusky, you are live and exclusive on Late Night
What's up,
Fraudulence. Alex, you massive legend. How you doing, mate?
I'm doing pretty good. So I wanted to talk to you about the Martinez deal. Do you think that was the biggest transfer in the entire Premier League this season?
Emiliano Martinez.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was an absolute bargain, I'll tell you that much. £15 million, I believe, even less, apparently, for a player who has kept more clean sheets in the Premier League than any other keeper. He has saved penalties. He is, I like him a lot. And if only because he was at the club for so long, waited to get his opportunity, took it, brought us success, looked fantastic, and then was, much like so many other Arsenal players,
He was sold for not. I see what I thought with the Martinez deal was. I think Arteta was kind of had his feet swept, like the rug underneath him was swept off his feet. Like he was like, I guess he didn't have any answers for it, because Arsenal, you guys looked really good with Martinez at the back. He can get Aubameyang in the game. His distribution was very, very good, and he just made the team better, and he could save. So when they sold him to Aston Villa, I was like, oh man, I think Arsenal might be in trouble here, because now you look at Aston Villa. I don't know if you saw the game today, but he was doing very well. He was doing very well getting the ball out, getting the guys on the attack, and I think that's where
Sorry to interrupt, right? But I've got people in the chat saying we needed that money for Partey, mate. I don't know if you're any good at maths, right? But there's money that you could get from elsewhere. People like Mustafi, Kolasinac, etc., etc. You don't sell your best keeper for a start for less than you actually got the other one for, when you've confirmed that he's actually a better player. It's fucking backwards.
Yeah. The thing is, you guys could have sold Ueno to anybody and probably would have got a decent chunk change, probably even about the same amount as you guys got from Martinez. Like Martinez,
I mean, that realistically was never going to happen, because we signed him so recently and for such a large amount of money. But I totally hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm a Liverpool fan. So when I started watching you, I'm sorry, but you started freaking. I think the video I watched was the Europa League final, and you were on with Rory and True Jordy and Lawrence, and you freaked out. You were freaking out during the game. I'm like, this guy, he is like every football fan right there, and I gotta find out who he is. So that's why I start. That's when I started watching you. So
I appreciate you stopping by. You're an absolute legend. It is a global fan base. The football world, we come together, a little community, and it is nice to have stuff to talk through with people from all over the place. Do you think Liverpool are going to win the league this season then again?
I want to say yes, but I know I don't want to jinx myself is the best way to put it, because a couple years ago we gave up a 15-point lead and then lost the league. I don't want that to happen. I mean, we're looking good. That 7-0 was great to watch, but with teams like Leicester behind us, I mean, Manchester United, Manchester United, I don't know what to think about them. They're gonna go on the streak again where they'll win like they won't drop points in 18 games, and then they'll lose to like 3 teams in a row, and then they'll be right back to square one. So I don't know what to think with Manchester United. Tottenham, Tottenham can give us a real chase, I think, though.
And that, my friends, is where we're going to leave that one. I don't believe you're right, but I do appreciate the call, Alex. You're an absolute hero for getting involved. I hope you come on when Liverpool next play. A 7-0 win, and still they're not convinced that they can go all the way. Liverpool fans panicking, perhaps scarred from previous seasons' close calls. Next up on the show, we've got Monaldo. Monaldo, you're actually live on Late Night Fraudulence. I hope you're doing well and ready to talk all things football. Monaldo?
Hello, mate.
Hello, mate. How you doing?
Not too shabby. How you doing?
Not too shabby. Not too shabby myself. Where are you calling from tonight?
I'm calling from London.
You're calling from London. Who do you support them?
Support Arsenal.
Oh dear, sad times.
Yeah.
Talk to me then, man. What do you think? How do we fix all this?
I don't really want to talk about what's going on the pitch, but mostly about the rumblings of what's happening in the dressing room.
Okay, rumblings, yeah.
It's mostly about the rumors of players and allegedly not wanting to talk to the manager, and even few suggesting like removal of Arteta. Hello.
What do you think about that?
Oh yeah, I do understand the major concerns about Arteta's game management and man management. I agree about it, but I find it kind of frustrating hearing about players wanting to essentially oust the manager, and the fact that some Arsenal fans are in fact siding with the notion of what could turn out to be a player mutiny. I don't really like.
Well, they're finding it difficult, aren't they, to side with a manager who's not been able to get any results in a long time.
Oh, yeah, I understand that, but I think they need like a reminder of who these players are. These players didn't, they didn't win the Champions League last year. They finished 8th. Most of these players were also involved in the humiliating Europa League final the season before that. So these players do have a history of like failing successive managers now.
They do, yes. How, knowing Arsenal though, and how they are likely to act in the transfer market, are you supposed to fix this issue?
I mean, I've been hearing rumors of the board backing Arteta's with further financial backing in the January market, but even then, I have little to no confidence that they will actually fulfill their promises.
I mean, yeah, there's backing the manager, and then there's a loan signing. I've got no faith that they're actually going to give him money in January, but you never know. Maybe they do see the panic that is certainly amongst Arsenal fans. If you've got, 1 or 2 things or 1 or 2 players that you feel like you've been let down, especially by, or you are ready to wash your hands of, can you just give us a few names?
The primary player is mostly Willian, who really aggravates me on a week-to-week basis with his terrorizing performances on the pitch. And then, considering who he is, a Chelsea player retiring essentially at the age of 32, getting himself a hefty 3-year deal, getting paid good money, and then you consider who his agent is as well, Kia Direction. It's some shocking stuff.
Well, ultimately, a lot of the reason as well why people are so, up in arms or questioning Arteta and his time is because I don't think they've got the confidence or seen anything that would give them the confidence that shows that even if you did give him signings, that we would see anything different. Now, can you tell me why you think that that's not the case? Like, why is he the right man still, and why should he be given money to spend if this is what we're seeing so far with what he's got? Is it literally a question of clearing the deck of the players that are here?
Well, I believe so. Arteta was appointed as essentially a long-term project. So even though things may not be going right now, I think they should stick by him. So I wouldn't oppose what could be a purging of the squad if they gave him the backing.
But you realise that we are, we're in January now. We're 9 days away from January. So ultimately,
he
we
doesn't
need
have long to prove himself.
Exactly. You've got to sort this out kind of sharpish. It's all well and good saying it's a long-term project, but we need to stay in the Premier League, mate.
It's a cold reality.
Well, the reality is that, we can brush it under the carpet, but ultimately questions need to be asked. So I will ask you, do you have confidence that he's the right man to take Arsenal, I hate to say it, but to a higher position in the Premier League table, or to fucking stave off relegation?
Every week I lose confidence.
Every week you're losing confidence, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you're starting to think that, things might not get better under him. Why don't you think that changing would be good for the club?
Oh, you've gotten me there.
I get you. Listen, mate, this is it. I ask myself the same question. It's very difficult, but honestly, we have been lied to continuously. We've been manipulated into believing that this is as good as we can afford, or this is as good as we can do, and ultimately, that's turning around now and slapping us in the face. Years down the line, people have been predicting this, and I'm not convinced that it's all Arteta. No way. But I'm also totally convinced that there are other managers out there who could do exactly what he's done and a lot more with the players he's got at his disposal. If the players are doing the mutiny like you started out talking about, if there is a rift in the dressing room, does that suggest that he is not the man to do the man management thing either? Look, I can think of umpteen circumstances already where I'm starting to think, hang on, whether it's Pepe, Xhaka, Ozil, Maitland-Niles, all of them, like Willian, there's a whole bunch of strange things going on that you're thinking, hang on. However, obviously expectations have fallen, right? Arsenal fans have started to think that this is all that they can, all that you can do.
Very much so.
Well, I hate to say it, but if you allow that to become your mentality, then it will become who you are, and I think that's where we are right now. Listen, mate, much love for getting involved. You're an absolute hero. Hopefully Arsenal can turn things around sharpishly so we can all get out of this depressing state of affairs, but happy holidays or Christmas or whatever you do. Much love to your mother, and stay busy. Let's go to the next call. We've got Jason. Jason, how you doing?
Hello.
Hello, mate. What's your name? Well, your name's Jason. Where are you calling from?
I'm from Richmond, Virginia.
Richmond, Virginia.
An American
Incredible.
Dawn. I'm sure the chat will love that.
Indeed, they do. Don't ignore them, right? Don't worry about that.
Oh,
It's your time to
they're all
shine,
frauds
baby.
anyway. They don't matter. They're frauds. It's fine.
Indeed, they are indeed. It's your time to shine. Let's talk about exactly what you want, then, mate.
Well, sadly, I'm an Arsenal fan, much like yourself. I was looking at some of the stats that we've had for the season. I'm not sure if you've been paying attention, but we've had a total of 293 crosses so far this season. And I think over the summer we brought in a new set piece coach from Brentford, and I'm wondering what he did to get that job, because we have done nothing to show for it.
Yes, indeed. Set pieces and goals in general, something that Arsenal are really struggling with. I think you could ask similar questions about pretty much every rank of authority at the club from top to bottom. However, have you got a solution for us, or are you just coming at us with more problems?
So everyone wants to say that it's Arteta's fault, it's the board's fault. I think it's more on the players. I think if you look at the FA Cup win that we had, everybody was buzzing at that time. Everyone was excited what we were doing. We could see what we were trying to do. But as time has progressed, we've gone back into our old ways. You could see, like, even under Unai Emery, Arsene, like, there were still players that are still at the club that were doing the same thing they're doing now under Arteta. So until they're really gone, I can't see us progressing.
All right, name some names. Yeah.
I don't want to scapegoat.
Nah, you got to do that, mate. No sitting on the fence here, mate, or you're gone.
Mustafi obviously needs to go. He's been there for.
It's an easy target. Easy target. You threw out the easy target first.
We're just, if we're gonna do it, we're gonna do it fast. Xhaka's going next. He's got to go after the 3-match ban. He's shown that he's only good at one thing, and that's passing from deep with his left foot. That's all he's good for. He may have some leadership qualities. That's great. Lacazette, we should have sold him in the summer when we had the offer from Roma. I don't know why we didn't. And then I like Bellerin. I do. I like him, but he's better on Instagram than he is on the field.
Ooh, controversial statements here. Well, it's not that controversial.
It's what we're here for.
I guess there's a few names there that we know need to be moved on, and plenty of those guys, I think, from previous looking at their contractual situations, are going to be coming to the end of their time at the club pretty soon. So hopefully they are moved on. The next game's against Manchester City in the Carabao Cup, and then on to Chelsea on Boxing Day in the Premier League. Can you give us a little predictions for those two?
So what I'm hoping is for the City game, Pep falls asleep, doesn't show up. The B-Tech manager shows up. They play the kids. We get a 1-0 win. It won't happen. We'll lose like 3-0. I think we'll get to the Chelsea game. Arteta may have a huge speech, and we'll get like a 2-1 win. I'm begging we get a 2-1 win. I can't go on Twitter anymore and see what's happening. I think if he can get the win over Chelsea, we get to January, we get some of the players out, but I don't know who's going to want to buy them. I don't know how we'll do that. I think if we can get that win over Chelsea, we may see an uptick in form, but it just depends on that. I don't care about the cup anymore. We have bigger problems to worry about than another competition that doesn't really matter. I'd rather us stay in the league than win a Carabao Cup.
Okay, so given that, going forwards, Arsenal Football Club, you've named some names. You want them to sell. You want them to wash your hands off. What is your cut-off point for Arteta himself? Have you got a cut-off point, or are you willing to just sit it out and ride it out?
There's a point that I saw online the other day, and it was that if Arteta hadn't been a player in the past, he would have been sacked by now. So we kind of need to take a step away from the sentimental thing of he was our captain for a little bit. He went under Pep to learn, and he's coming back, and he won us an FA Cup. Great. I'm still willing to give him a chance.
I think that's amazing, right? Because I just the fact that people are getting emotionally attached to Arteta is unbelievable to me. You've got to be new to this. Arteta was a deadline day signing.
I know.
He was not. It was not like the most fucking exciting thing.
They're acting like he's a Bergkamp or something, but he's not. He's just a guy that played for us for a few years.
Right now, I'm done with the emotional attachment between managers. That is gone. It's over. We've had George Graham, everyone loved. We've got Wenger, I think for a period of time at least everyone loved. Now that they're gone, that's that. Football, for me, the club themselves have changed so much that there is no emotional attachment anymore. And if you're not doing your job, it's out on your fucking arse, mate. That's what it's got to be from now.
I think at Arsenal, they want to be that club who will still give you that chance. But if we're going to be a Liverpool,
that's not how you do it these
or
days.
City, we have to be like just ruthless and get the best that we can. I wish we would have got Ancelotti from Everton. I wish we would have got him.
Look, there is something also to be said for the fact that some very successful managers have made equally as bad starts to their times in charge of the clubs that they've been at, and that it is, possible that they can still turn it around if he is given time and money in the window. My thing is that I just don't believe that the club are going to spend that money properly or have put in the team around Arteta to be able to actually make this the magical kind of story that they hope it is. Listen, much love for getting involved, mate. You're an absolute hero.
Appreciate you, sir.
Please do join us again. Jason calling all the way from fucking hell, where was he? Was it Colombia or something? Where was he? Fuck, I can't remember. Somewhere in North America. Much love to everyone who has joined in tonight. It has been an epic one. We've been going for, I guess, 3 or 4 hours. I didn't do a live stream for the game today because I just wanted to watch all of them with my feet up because I got a free house and I'm enjoying the quiet. I'm actually going to move over to play some FIFA pretty shortly on Twitch. I'm going to have a little break, get some food on the Deliveroo or whatever, and then yeah, we'll move over and do some FIFA because my jaw is hurting from all the talking. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has tuned into the streams tonight. If you haven't already, would you please subscribe to the channel? It is massively appreciated as we move and build this global fraud gang. We've got plenty more dramatic moments and, well, fantastic fixtures coming up over the Christmas period that I will be doing either streams or 90 Mores or Late Night Fraudulence 4. So I hope you're going to join me for those and that you're enjoying the content in general. We've got plenty in store for that ass. Career mode incoming. If you've enjoyed that, get yourself up to speed. If you haven't seen those just yet. But for now, I'm going to love you and leave you. Much love to DJ and all the mods who've been in the chat. Purdy, I see you. Harry Hass, I see you. Thank you so much for all your help. You are integral to what we do. What I do. There's no one else here. Anyway, for now, I've been hughwizzy and this has been late. It's been night. It's been fraudulent. I'll see you in the next one. Peace, people.